Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in negative territory once again this morning. Markets looking to avoid a third straight losing week. A number of different influences this morning to touch on. The first being spiking COVID-19 cases over in both the UK and throughout Europe. There's talk of possible shutdown once again, or a lockdown in the UK. Boris Johnson going to speak on that coming up a little bit later on today evening, obviously, over in the UK. Possibly closer to lunchtime for us. We'll touch on that if it does come out. We're also seeing a lack of continuation when it comes to discussions between the Republicans and Democrats for further possible COVID-19 aid coming out of Washington, all following the sad passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg over the weekend. So no developments as far as continuation of discussions there. We've travel-related stocks to the downside in a big way this morning. We'll touch on some of the cruise lines, the airlines under pressure as well on the spiking COVID-19 cases. Tech stocks also back in negative territory, led by Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon, all down about 2% when I was first looking this morning. Nikola shares under big time pressure as well. Executive chairman, founder, and board chairman Trevor Milton leaving the company voluntarily after the speculation from Hindenburg, if you remember last week, and also the SEC and DOJ investigations that followed. So lots to get to this morning. It's Monday, September 21st, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session this morning. You can see, big time negativity here, both Hong Kong and Shanghai, almost 2% there. You can see the Nifty in India, 2% to the downside as well. Let's go over to Europe and see big time negativity right across the board. Some questionable activity in the banking sector affecting some of these names, along with obviously the COVID cases as well. So we'll talk about some financials coming up this morning. Let's go over to North America and see how futures are looking. 2+% for the Dow now. The NASDAQ and S&P still around that 1.5% mark. TSX futures here in Toronto negative as well, 1.4%. Brazil's open already, trading sharply lower. We have Bitcoin, crude oil, and gold. All in negative territory in a big way this morning, guys. Good morning. It's Monday. It's a negative start to the week for obvious reasons. Some concerning numbers, to say the least, coming out of the UK and Europe when it comes to COVID-19 cases, in the UK specifically, spiking to above May, kind of March, April, May numbers again on a daily circumstance.
Yeah, it would be another setback for some of the travel space, at least so far. That's what we're seeing, and like you mentioned there with the HSBC news and the banking sector getting crushed. I mean, the U.S. isn't down quite as much. You know, it's only half what you're seeing across the board in Europe, and some of the tech fall continues. Only a couple of names I could find positive. I mean, obviously we talked about Battery Day coming up this week, and then Roku extending from last week's gain. So there's definitely going to be a lot to trade. Snowflake is going to be in play again, and like you said, can't get too far away from Nikola here, guys. 6 million in volume and continuing to trade down. It should be an exciting week, to say the least, Sean.
Yeah, no, welcome everybody. It's a Monday, and what a great weekend it was. A little bit of a bloodbath there in the NFL. A lot of big injuries happening, but it was a good week overall. Anybody watching this week was good. Emmys last night as well. Some big wins for your show there, Succession. Brendan, they did quite well. I know you're a big fan of that one. And yeah, today we'll rock and roll. Space is on here. Kodak is on here. Oracle getting the deal done. It looks like President Trump definitely giving the thumbs up to Oracle and or Walmart and or a combination of both of them. So there are a few stocks up here, Oracle, Walmart, but I did see someone talk about JP Morgan. Yeah, all the banks today down 3+%. But climbing back a little bit here from the bottom. So let's wait to see the price action on some of these things. It was a big weekend for sure with a lot of news. RBG there, rest in peace, obviously, to that as well. And adding to the political flame here, now they got to get another Supreme Court justice in there. This is going to be, Brendan, just a wild couple of months, I think, to say the least.
Yeah, a few things going to influence the next week coming up, or the next few weeks coming up as we head towards the election. I wanted to mention as well, it's good to see Apple, Sean, not sure if you heard, but Apple won an Emmy for its morning show. There was a supporting actor award given to Apple. So yeah, a little bit of positivity from the Emmys for Apple as well. Before we get going here, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brendan, and hello, traders. Happy Monday, everyone. Please support, share the link with friends, subscribe to the channel, and of course, smash the like button. Let's get it started.
Indeed. Let's get it started. I'll show you what's coming up a little bit later on this morning. Valeria will have the link for you coming up around 11:45, 11:50. Yeah, we're going to talk about our biggest losing trades ever, kind of the mindset surrounding that, going into it, obviously coming out of it, how we adjusted. Neil is up first with his biggest losing trade ever. Lots to learn from this video. So have a look at that coming up again about 11:45 later on this morning. You might learn something about how to bounce back from a losing trade. Let's jump into what is moving around this morning, guys. As far as pre-market movers, sign up for the watch list if you haven't already. We do this every single morning, guys, between 9 and 9:30 Eastern. We discuss and go over all the stocks moving around in the pre-market. Valeria will help you out if you need the link to sign up for the watch list. Let's jump into it right now. We'll start off with the travel group, guys. The travel group as a whole down between 3 and 4.5%, depending on what you're looking at. The cruise lines, the airlines, hotels, all under pressure this morning. Again, this comes back to spiking COVID cases throughout the UK and also throughout Europe. As I mentioned, Boris Johnson going to make a decision possibly today on whether or not the UK will have another national lockdown here, guys. So take your pick. It was RCL and CCL that were doing the most volume I saw in the pre-market.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely are. I wanted two things. I want to jump to the airlines here, but I also want to say, when you talk about the political headwinds that are going on, any kind of a deal probably even less likely than it seems when it comes to another stimulus package in the U.S. So I'm actually looking at American. The reason I pulled up the 15-minute chart here, able to go into late August, and let's look at this 1265 level here. Current pre-market bottom is right here, right now. It's been holding above this price. So on this little downturn, I've been looking for an opportunity for this to break. It just hasn't happened yet. I'm going to be taking American Airlines to 1265 to the short side, guys.
Carnival, yeah, I was going to look at American just because it's doing 1.63 million, but we'll go over to the other big guy, RCL, Brendan. I just looked, was it was just a couple 100,000. So CCL much bigger than that, but obviously just a $12 price tag. This is a 1-minute chart. Let's roll this down to a 3 just so you can see where we are from Friday a little bit better here. Down, to answer your questions, down from Friday, down 14, down to 12 and change. Let's take a quick look. I see some requests for the imbalance locator here. I don't see anything. I mean, a bunch of sells at the top. Here's CCL, 221,000. These aren't big numbers. GE had a big blowout last week, up 10% a couple days back to back there. So GE with a sell side today, but Carnival right here, 221,000. The daily on Carnival, yeah, I mean, it looks ugly. We just broke back down below the 50-period moving average. That's never a good sign for me, and that's roughly at 1560. So you do have some bottoms that have held lately, 1282. Let's just call it 13. We're nowhere near there right now. And then the very bottom back in August when we did have some spike numbers as well, 1420-ish. So yeah, CCL to the downside. We're definitely going to have a look at that. Watch the imbalance though come off first, and then we'll trade it probably like 932, 33-ish.
All right, guys, we'll go to the tech group next. The rout in tech stocks continuing this morning. Apple to the downside. We'll touch on Apple here. It's interesting, though. There was a couple of ratings changes on this stock this morning, all to the upside. Citigroup, Evercore, there was one more. There was a third one as well, all increasing their price target on Apple, even though we're seeing this continued negativity. Yeah, 2.5% here in the pre-market for Apple, guys.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about a gap like this to the downside on an Apple, there's going to be some obvious things to defend here. You can obviously talk about that 100 level. you always had to think about the split adjusted prices, but 400 was sort of that number anyways, guys. So on any kind of a push back to the upside, I would look at like 106, or more like to 106 to like 107.25 is a bit of an area that could be chop on the way back up that it tries to get through. So those are the two areas I'm watching. It's just 100 even. It's 106 to 107.25 on the upside. If it can't get through there, I think maybe it could be a short the pop situation. Somewhat similar to we had those big levels on the upside and we looked to maybe short in front of them. It's going to be hard if we get a chance to see a bid at 100, not to try to jump in long in front of it for a little bit of a bounce play. It could end up being a scalp, but I think I'm going to like that price when I see it.
Yeah, 106. I was just looking to see where did we close on Friday, and it was right about here, 106.70, 106.80 or so. We did bump up to 108. It was a nice little run at near the end of the day. But remember, you had rebalancing on Friday, so that was a big event. So you did have this monster 7 or so million share print come off the close there, and it was a sell imbalance. So we did drive Apple down from basically 108, and I was showing Brendan, I got ticked out basically at 108, and then it goes all the way down here to 106. So we did have a little bit left on. I just want to use 106 as a bottom. We'll try to short it in front of that. If Apple does pop through, this is just again, it's the long to short to long, sorry. So we'll go short and then we'll reverse it to the long side through 106. If that is something that does break. And I just want to say something else too. Like I like to say, trade Apple, own it, don't trade it. And look, forget about this. This is obviously the split, but you came down at 140 and we're down to 100 right now. So you're basically getting Apple here. I mean, no matter which way you want to look at this, from 140 down to 104. I mean, that's, a 40% drop, I guess. Yeah, I hear Rob in the background. This is not what happened to Apple, my friend. This split 4 to 1. So, yeah, you're getting Apple right here at 104. I think that's a bargain temporarily. If you did want to hold a stock for the next couple months, Apple at 104, you're probably not going to go wrong. And I also have the same opinion on Microsoft, Brendan.
All right, guys, Nikola next here. The story doesn't seem to want to end here on Nikola. Yeah, progressively getting worse, even, you could say. Trevor Milton, leaving the company. Founder, board chairman Trevor Milton stepping aside to be replaced by Stephen Gursky, former vice chairman of General Motors. So there's the GM angle. Obviously, GM investing in Nikola as far as the EV space is concerned, going to be their provider for batteries. So not a good look here for Nikola, I think, guys.
No, I mean,
never a good sign.
Obviously never a good.
We'll hit the red market here.
And we're sort of gapping through that level that you might have wanted to test intraday. And we did talk about this, that $28 big ramp up. We got like a $10 bounce off that level. So with the old theory that, previous support can turn into some resistance, that's the one level we can look at. Obviously, if we gap any further to the downside, you're making some fresh bottoms since this came around. So I'm looking at that first 28 on a bit of a bounce back. However, it's down 27%. It is worth noting that on relatively solid volume, it's done 6.5 million shares. There has been a bid which is hanging around this 25 area. It did recover a couple of dollars here, so it's a heavily shorted name. You might see both short profit taking and the potential of some kind of a squeeze. If that happens and it takes a top off, you got to be willing to at least go long in those circumstances, despite the fact that I'm obviously going to be favoring shorts. If it gets up to 28, that's the first level that I want to defend in terms of a short trade. Otherwise, you're looking for a breakdown around 24, even something like that, heading into the low at 21.50. Let's watch that bottom.
Yeah, never a good sign here when the man behind the idea of Nikola and the hydrogen and everything like that is now stepping down. Obviously, a lot of pressure there coming through, giving back some stock as well. The story's obviously not going to be done here on Nikola. I checked, and thank God my price. I just checked it. And remember, I told you I wasn't buying anymore. I'm in at 36.25 or something. So down here is horrible, but it's very, very light position. We will look to add some more, but not on a day like today, man. Nikola's just going to get crushed. Make sure you do have shortable shares. You're down 27% today. I would say, if you're trying to nibble a little bit, you can here. I don't think there's any catalyst for this to rip up yet unless someone comes in and they upgrade the stock. They know a little bit more about this new CEO and whatnot and some management. I know GM's taking a spot on the board as well. So it just doesn't look very good on Mary Barra there. of GM. Let's just take a quick look at GM here. They put money in at a valuation obviously a lot higher than this. So GM today getting hit down 3.68%. I think it was, what was it, 2 billion or 5 billion or 6 billion, something like that, or 11 billion they put into GM. It's 11%, I believe, of Nikola. So you're going to wait to see how far down GM can go on this Nikola tumble. So that's kind of a pin action stock there, Brendan. You get Nikola moving down. You may want to look to GM. Little safer trade there. If you do like the Nikola story, why not buy some GM shares as sort of a hedge?
Yeah, absolutely. Worth a watch, definitely, coming up at the open, GM, that is. Let's go to Oracle, guys. The news over the weekend, Saturday, in fact, that President Trump had given his blessing as far as the Oracle and Walmart team up with TikTok to take over U.S. operations of the platform for TikTok. Oracle going to end up with about a 12.5% stake in the company, and TikTok or ByteDance, owner of TikTok, will hold the remaining 80-ish. So Oracle, as you said, Sean, some stocks are moving higher today, and Oracle's one of them.
Yeah, Oracle is a good one. And we said why. We said Larry Ellison there. Again, and we don't make the show political, but, he's a supporter of Trump. So Oracle gets this deal done, it looks like, and now it's shooting higher. Oracle now going to be near not all-time highs, but recent highs on this deal news. And yeah, we're breaking out right now. We got as high as 64 just a couple days ago when the news was first talked about. I guess that was last week. It was talked about down here. Oracle spikes up 64 and change. You're just going to look for 64 to get taken out. But again, this is just one of those things where you buy the rumor, sell the news, and this one looks like it could get faded down. I actually like Walmart a little bit better. I think it changes the game for Walmart. Walmart's not up nearly as much. They're going to have access now to a bunch of data. They're going to be able to advertise. And again, this is a lot of talk without seeing what exactly the deal is going to be, but it does look like Walmart and Oracle will get it. Microsoft will get left behind a little bit, which may be good. We don't know the price they're paying, but TikTok, obviously a prized allocation here, so let's just wait to see. I like it for Walmart. Walmart ticking the needle on something. Look, you can't compete with Amazon. Even Target's a tough one as well. So now Walmart getting into this game, I like it for them.
All right, guys. Another one we'll talk about here, just looking at Kodak. We're going to get to Kodak, but I want to make sure we talk about Tesla. Moving higher in the pre-market as well. We had, I think it was Wedbush that came out this morning and increased their current quarter guidance for Tesla, both on the EPS side of things and on the deliveries. So both increased deliveries and increased earnings projected for Tesla from Wedbush this morning. They're going to report October 21st. So Tesla was positive, guys, but a bit of a flush here in the past few minutes.
Yeah, there's something coming this week. I don't know if maybe you can refresh my memory what it might be. Sean, while I go over some levels here. Look, 438 was the level that I was looking at last week, and I think we can still like this one here. A bit of a pivot to the upside on Friday, holding that. I think that's where I would like to be doing a dip buy. And then if we held above 450, I think one of the levels I was also mentioning, just that weekly high of 462. That seems like it could end up being a bit of resistance. I like a potential breakout through there. It just feels like on this morning in particular, given the relative strength of Tesla, the dip buy could be in. If something's going to be strong, this is one of the names at least. I think that could fit into that category. So if it gives me a shot in and around that 438, I'd like to defend it in front of the pre-market low.
So I was just, Tesla, I mean, battery day is coming. I just did want to go back to GM here a little bit because, GM did not put any cash in at all. They took a $2 billion equity stake, obviously, in Nikola there. So they did not put any cash in that. At that time was valued at 11% for in-kind contributions. So they were going to make the batteries and whatnot and some of those cells for Nikola. So that's why General Motors is down. Obviously, if Nikola doesn't, produce the Badger, then they won't be able to have any in-kind contributions and be able to produce, the cells for them using some of their technology for that. So Nikola down. Tesla and GM, of course, down as well. We'll look at both those stocks. But yeah, Tesla continues to go. I called, near 500 on battery day. Battery day is tomorrow. So we'll see. It could get downgraded at some point after battery day. But I think for now, the hype is in. 455 on Tesla.
All right, guys, let's talk about the banking group here. A lot of them under pressure this morning. The story coming out of Europe early on this morning. A number of big name banks mentioned in this story, including HSBC, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan Chase as well was another one. A lot of individual names mentioned when it comes to the transferring of what they're calling illicit funds with no real background of where they're coming from or where they were going. Up to $2 trillion was mentioned in this story. For questionable transfers as far as the banking group is concerned. HSBC, obviously, primary listing over in Europe. Also, Deutsche Bank, same story. But I just brought up HSBC here, guys, 5.8%. We can look at Deutsche Bank, a lot of the other group, as we mentioned, a few of them early on this morning, under pressure here.
Yeah, I have a strong preference for if you're trading something to trade on the primary market. So if you're trading the U.S., I think you look at some of these other banks like a JPM, which, oddly enough, you go to the daily chart here and like right at this 95, which is the bottom. If you go all the way back into July and it's held it, you got a gap right down below it. Sort of an obvious gap fill if it breaks out through that price. Similar to the gap up and sell, gap down, and see if we can't get a break at 25 on JP Morgan. So HSBC is probably going to move, and I think overall you might be a little bit more volatile. But if I'm not trading it across the pond, I'm going to look at JP Morgan through 95 as the trade I'm watching.
Yeah, look, I mean, everybody knows that banks, and I saw someone say that people are just figuring out that banks launder money. Yeah, they do, and it's just going to continue to happen that way. But yeah, caught, and someone said earlier, caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Here is JP Morgan, but they're all the same, man. JP Morgan, we can look at Citigroup. They're all down. We just have to wait till they catch a bid. Here's Citigroup down 3%. Let's check out Wells Fargo, probably the same fate as well, down, there it is, 2 point. Ooh, JP Morgan or Wells Fargo a little bit better. Let's check the imbalances quickly here to see if there's any banks on watch. We have BAC on a sell side action there. I don't see anybody else. We can go down, Snap, XOM, they're all here. Basically, everybody's a sell. You get some random buys in there. Pick, we talked about that last week, and then there's Oracle. So other than some of those news stories, everything is going to be a sell. Look, I mean, I like the banks long term. We always talk about that. Preach on the 3, 4, 5% dividends. I love that. As an investor, you got to pick up some JP Morgan down here. But in the financial crisis, obviously back in 2008, 2009, these banks continue to fall. I don't think we have anything like that happening. But look where we came from, 140. Then you had the pandemic bring this thing all the way down to 80. Tried to get back going and failed. Now you've broke below the 50-period moving average on the daily chart. So JP Morgan has some pain, but there is. I know Neil talked about some key levels down there, but 90 is a little bit of a bouncer. But we're not dropping $5 today on JP Morgan, so you can forget about 90. Just watch out. The market's trying to battle back here. I think the banks are a good spot to get your money in if you're uncertain.
All right, guys, let's go to Roku here. We'll get to Arun coming up and have a look at the overall market, but I want to make sure we talk about Roku before the open. They finalized this agreement with Comcast and NBC Universal to keep the Peacock streaming app on Roku devices, and also kept some other NBC content on Roku devices. So we talked about a few stocks to the upside today. This is one of them.
Yeah,
interestingly enough, it sold off on Friday, guys. And then you look at this sort of double, I don't know, it's not really a double top because it was a bit of a gap down from the 175 top, 168 and then 167. So potential a break. A lot of times I would look at something like Friday's high, but you do have a little bit of chop into 168. So I think you're scalping any kind of a breakout in Roku for the first dollar and then looking for a secondary break at 168 to get some real traction. Otherwise, you play it off of a dip, which I really like, this 160 area, and it's more of an area than any kind of a hard level. You do have some chop down here. You also had a nice little bottom made at 161.30. So, that's what I'd like to see ideally. Sort of similar to Tesla, if it's going to be strong. If you can get the market maybe selling a little bit, giving you a good price on an entry. I'd prefer that to taking the break at 167, which is Friday's top, just because of that 68 top the day before.
I did, before we go to Arun, I just want to show everybody what we're doing exactly. Get our morning movers, and the price tag is FREE. This is our watch list. It's a great resource. We're going over all of the stocks, travel stocks. We talked about CCL, AL, Oracle's in there, Apple's in there, every single thing we're talking about. We didn't get to some of these yet. BuzzTime, Roku, Tesla, Nikola, it's all here, down 28%. And why? Everything is here. Our latest video with Brendan here as well. So definitely, guys, join us on our watch list, tradertv.live. Miss V dropping the link for you as we speak. So if you're not signed up yet, do it. It's free. Let us know how you like it, but that's a big one. Definitely be part of the community here. Sign up for free. to our watch list, Brandon.
Yeah, there's no additional news. I want to mention Kodak, guys. There's no additional news on Kodak this morning. The story last week, obviously, the CEO in a separate study of the actual allegations against the CEO when it came to that $750 million government-backed loan, found that there was no wrongdoing. So that was the initial positivity on the stock, gapping down with the overall market. Very active once again in the pre-market. Kodak, that is. Have a look at that one as well. Yeah, let's bring in Arun here. We'll get check on the overall market, see what levels we need to be aware of when it comes to the futures this morning. We are to the downside, obviously, Arun, in a big way here. 1.8% now. Back around that 3250 area was once a significant point.
Yeah, it's the first time in a while that I'm seeing the S&P actually weaker than the NASDAQ. So that's an interesting relative situation here that we haven't seen in a while. 32.55 going down to 32.45. I think there's a decent amount of buying there, so I'm not going to step into the short just yet. I'm a little concerned if we get through 32.45. I'm looking for some sort of a breakdown setup where I can actually take the break with a proper stop. Proper stop at the moment, I'm not seeing anything. The only level I've got marked up to the top is 33.10. So anything between 32.80 going into that 3300 mark, if I can get a setup there, I'll use 33.10 as a sell side. But right now I'm stuck between 33.10 on the top and 32.45 on the bottom, and the market's too close to that 55 going down to 45. So no trades at the moment, but I am setting my zones here, 32.80 to 3300 with a 33.10 stop. Of course, 32.45 breakdown. If I can get a proper stop to take that break, I'll take it. If I don't, I'll just let it go and wait for another trade.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in with Arun tomorrow and check out the overall market. Really teeny tiny one to look at, guys. NTN buzz time, you might have heard Sean mention it, gapping up. You can see aftermarket on Friday. This is when that news came out. They sold part of their business. This is a media company. They have an online social media type advertising platform that they've sold to another company. So if you come to the daily chart, we were actually trading this one on the show when it did this huge squeeze all the way up to $8 if you go way back when. In this kind of consolidation here is 250 and then 260, 265 area, which is that kind of high from Friday aftermarket, guys. NTN buzz time.
Yes, I will be looking at that one probably at the open. I want to get to Kodak here, of course. We did talk a little bit about this one, but I do have a position. You've seen it on. Worth noting, it is going to be short sell restricted. So I took a couple of cracks at this sort of a pivot area here, like 1057, turned from support in pre-market into some resistance. So I've shorted in front of it once, took a nice little 20-cent win, shorted another time here again, scalping 20 cents out of it. And I hang on to this to the open, see if we can test a 10-10 bottom. If it breaks through 10 even, lots of room to fall. I mean, it would have a target of like a 950 initially. That would be this level here, not from Friday's action, but going back into Thursday. When I had a ramp up going into the close. So a nice short here on Kodak, another name from our watch list, of course, guys. There's lots to get to. Brennan went over NTN, but the last one on the list you saw there is Inovio Pharmaceuticals, INO. Certainly one that we've traded in the past. Did get a gap up last week. No particular catalyst today, but still showing some relative strength. They, of course, have their COVID-19 vaccine. And I think an update coming later on this week. I'm watching the fact that we put in a high under 19, under 1850, and under 18 today. So you are seeing a bit of selling going into this week. Do keep your ear to the ground for any headlines, but I'm certainly watching to see if we cannot break through every single time it's failed at a particular price the day before. It's been a good short in front of it. So I'm going to look to see if we can hold that 1790 top. If it broke through, I would hold off on any long position on a breakout until about 1850 or so. So that's going to be the plan in INO. Make sure you got the shorts in. And didn't even get to Snowflake there. Lots of names here.
Yeah, I like Snowflake to the downside. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here's DraftKings coming up as well. A breakthrough 54 quarters might be something, but watch out for DraftKings down 3%. Successful NFL weekend. I don't know how the ratings were, but you're going to see the NBA in the finals soon. I don't think anybody's going to be betting anybody but the Lakers, but we'll wait to see on that one. DraftKings and then Snowflake. Yeah, I like this stock down through. They caught a downgrade. I guess if I'm just going to check our watch list quickly here. Downgraded through I think it was JP Morgan that eventually got a downgrade for it. Summit Insights Group, the first brokerage here, Summit's Insight Group. But 220, 218 is the downgrade. So that's on the watch list. Watch out for Snowflake to break through the bottom. We do have shortable shares on this one, down 6% today. But yeah, overheated IPO to say the least. Was up to 320 on a broken circuit breaker. But now you're going to watch out for this downside here. It's resisted 218, 219 a couple times. So if that breaks, we'll be going short. And then, so DraftKings long, Snowflake short. Other than that, I do want to get my money into JP Morgan at some point, but we are nicely off the bottom here. You can see JP 93.50 was that bottom. So now making its way up. Quickly, Neil, just before we go, I want to check the imbalance locator. A lot of people asking about that still. GE still big, Oracle still big buy, BAC big sell. Watch out for Space, Virgin. We didn't talk about that today, but Virgin Galactic could be a mover along with all of the travel names, even though, is that a travel name? I don't know.
Technically it is, man.
Technically it is, so.
It counts. Look, JPM, you like these breaks a lot better in the open market, and I've never had any success taking a breakout like this in pre-market trading, so I'm going to stay away from that 95 break like I obviously did here. Trying to stick to the rules. I just got into that NTN as it tested the top and then rolled over. So a couple of shorts, and I'll get to that penny stock ONTX. It's a slow mover, but up again today. I'm shorting in front of the high of day there. We did talk about HSBC, but it's time to drop that countdown, guys. Here we go. It is Monday morning. A lot of active names to trade here. I'm watching
Tesla off the open.
A Tesla off the open. Where's it going?
We're going to try it. It's 455 right now. We're going to try it. We'll give it down a little bit of room here. 450 or so. If it can go through. Tesla 455 looking to break that. The market's open. Thank you, Ms. V. Let's wait to see now as the ES pulling back down a little bit here. The market trying to go upside though. NASDAQ failing. Tesla coming down to that 450 level.
Yeah, I mean, immediately pulling back. And I like 438, but I'm going to have a look at a better price if that's going to be the case. 55 remains the high in Tesla, so you can certainly watch that. Pulling back to the upside, hard is Kodak for me here. So this is why you take profits off, guys, because you'll be rewarded in front of the low of the day. It does spike up, doesn't give a re-entry. 1060 is going to be my out here, guys. So still in a nice short. And JP Morgan just took 95 for the second time. So I just took it off the open on a little bit of a break. Let's see if it can actually continue this move.
Nicola's trying to go. We'll take a 23 break. We do notice that the high here on Nicola. Let's put this back to a 1 minute chart just so you can see it. It is having a problem making that move upside. So we'll see if 24 does break, and then we'll go downside. We do have VWAP upside right now, 24.25. So you give yourself about $1 worth of room here on a 24 break downside of Nicola. Let's see if we can catch that. Right now we're flat. We're not in anything. Oracle does fall back downside as well. They're off of that, trying to break new highs of 64. So now Oracle comes back to the downside. Walmart, Oracle, and some of those banks, Neil.
Yeah, and there goes that NTN. So this is a level here, that 256. That's the top. It already put in a different high last week, a lot higher on Friday, guys. I rolled into it. I didn't add on the way down. Difficult to get into. If it tests 56 again, I will take a shot to add to my position. Looking for a nice rollover trade on this small cap. Brendan, what do you got? But
one from last week, guys. If you remember, Plug Power had a huge day on Friday. Huge move to the upside. I saw this in the pre-market, but didn't see any catalyst behind the move. So big gap down, huge flush off the open, but we're right back up for Plug, guys.
103.90. We're going to go long here. There we go. We are long now. Apple just using this little bit of a breakout here as a spot to go. So bang, nice little win there on Apple to start the day here. Long 104.66. So a nice trade on Apple, guys. Out some 93s. No, we missed 93s. Out some 60s there. Now we'll wait to get out some 90s. There it is. Bang. Nice little win there on Apple to start. Oh, big size here alert on Apple. Guys, 105. Some decent size right here.
Yeah, and that JPM, it did give me a little bit of a scalp trade here. I'll have to zoom in so you can see it. I couldn't get any further than like 20, so I take the first out for a quick little scalp. Let's see if it can run any further. Not showing the strength that I wanted to see here. We did get a reload in Kodak, which we have to the short side. We've taken multiple trades. I just got a bunch out again in front of that 10 low, and then took some more out in front of 1020. I'm still hanging on to a 1048 short, and I'm going to give it to this level around here, that 1057, 1060. That's going to be the stop of Kodak. Working nicely for us. There goes JP Morgan taking out 95.25, 95.50 next stop. And then if we can do that, break through, we'll look for a bigger run to the upside market. Still kind of sideways, however, there, Sean.
Yeah, so we're into this right now. Apple, decent trade as well. And then we're also now into Tesla, breaking through 455. We get 455.50. Not a good price at all there, but we are going long on Tesla here, hoping that battery day can create a nice little movement. But here goes Apple, right back to the day's high. We're going to give it hold right now on Tesla. Let's get out some more Apple, but a big win here for Apple. Got to hold on to Tesla. 55 cents now in the money. AAPL, what's up, B?
Another one with early strength here, guys. Genius Brands up almost 7% at one point there. Took out that high from Friday right off the open. We're coming back in, though. They were talking about some of the fall premieres they have on their kids line for television shows, guys.
All premieres, why not? But look at Nikola. We talked about the potential for an upside move here, potential squeeze. Not saying I like to be bullish on it, but heavy shorts come in, and this is what could happen. This is why I didn't like a short unless it was breaking the bottom. And it was this level I liked, 24 break.
Wow.
The other one would be coming up to 28, previous low. So I will take a shot if it rolls over in front of 28 to the short side on Nikola, but it looks like it squeezed just like we anticipated. That's why you don't just jump in based on the news, guys.
Yeah, you do not, but we'll hit the fireworks regardless for this big Apple trade right now. Long at 104.65, out there 105.26 a little bit. Now we're holding pretty low on this one. But we got to give our Tesla, we're just going to give this down to here, 449. If it breaks, it breaks. I got out of Tesla a little too early on Friday. Those of you that know, as it just continues to rip up, we do not want to make the same mistake again here today. But I do think some of the luster is out of this. It should have gone already, I would think, but we still do have upside, hopefully surprise coming on Tesla, breaking through right here, 455. That's the level that we took out. Obviously, there's nothing upside. We'll just continue to move it up, 450 and change. No, we're really high right now based on any sort of, minute chart. So we got to wait for this one to go a little bit, but here it comes fading and failing off that 455.
I'm going to hit the backflip because JP Morgan's sort of going to plan. We wait for the open on that one. Like, I didn't want to take that position in the pre-market, so I do wait for 930 to retake that 95, take some out, scalp in front of 25 area, and then that 95.50, like we said, that even dollar range. I do get second, third out here. It needs to break this high. I'm going to move my stop up, sort of contain it around like a 15-cent hit instead of giving it more room, and see if we can continue this move to the upside. I'll get to American Airlines in just a bit here. We did get that short through that 1265 area. I got 64 short, but bye-bye NTN. That one took out the top there, so accidentally reverse long. Didn't want that position. I just covered that one off for you guys. But watch out, JP Morgan looking like it wants to pull back. Kodak dying. We just got a 90-cent winner. We'll slay the dragon once again on Kodak. Look, we rolled into this short, tied at 1057 area. In the pre-market, got some out in front of the bottom. On the way back up, took a little more out. We just got the 90-cent winner on the big time flush. Looking for it to slow down. The second it actually caught any kind of a bounce, so I have a bit of a bid at 950. Follow along in the morning, guys. We had this on the watch list. I said to you guys, if that 10 broke, 950 next level, that's where the target would be. It turns around at that price. That's why we take some off. Only have a small bit left here, about 10% of the position. I'll go with a $10 stop on it, then see how far Kodak wants to fall.
Look at Nikola, though, man. You want to talk about falling. How about not falling? Nikola right now up to the upside. We'll see on a break if we can get it going, but it may just fail out right now. We did finally take a little bit of a long in Nikola right here, back up through 27. So a fail through 27 will be out of Nikola right here. We did retake Tesla. What's up, Brendan?
Another one from Friday, guys. We were talking about PIC, Pivotal Investment. Remember, they're taking that XL fleet public 2 days in a row here to the upside. Just broke that high from Friday, 1310. Big time volume on PIC, you guys.
Yeah, and I've actually gone Nikola here, attempting to roll over, guys, and I've taken my shot to the short side. Look, 27.60 is not 28, which is the level I was talking about before, but it's a close enough rollover that when I split hairs, I'm going to give it a shot here. I'll give it to that new high of day, see if it can't retreat back in. I only wanted to short a pop or break of 24. Looks like I'm shorting a pop. So as good as Kodak was, we'll see if Nikola can follow suit here, but you have to be wary of the fact there could always be squeezes in a heavily shorted name. We already saw it do one off the open. Now I got 80s, 26.80 to the short side. Gonna give it some room here and then see if we can't flush back down through 26 even.
Yeah, we tried Tesla as well, and that went through. So Tesla breaks through 49, and we got out. So now we have to wait to see if Tesla wants to retake anything on this battery day possibility here for Tesla. So we'll wait. Battery day, of course, is tomorrow. So September 22nd, there it is, falling right back down. So we'll wait to see on Tesla here. Nikola will take a shot at that again if it does break through the high, and Apple, we're pretty much out of all of that. So 452 here on Tesla, a good little break spot to try one more time.
Yeah, and speaking of that NTN, this is what I was talking about, this little small cap. Did take a few shots at it, so you're going to make this kind of a play. It does not roll over. It takes out the high. I didn't have a long plan for this one, so I don't end up taking the breakout to the long side. You can see I accidentally got into a long with a few more shares than I had to the short side, and I just immediately covered it. Obviously, it would have been a win, but that's not the way. That's not the way I'm going to trade here. If I didn't have a long plan, I'm going to stay away. There was a 1075 area. If you look at this, just back into early August, and there was one more time where it failed at that price. That's the reason I didn't love the long. We'll see if it rolls over through that price again. That could be the first short. If it gets through, you're probably looking at like 315 as the next stop to the upside. So that's what I'm watching on NTN. Again, it is what it is. I did have a long position. I took it off for like a 1 cent hit, paid the spread immediately because I didn't want it. Nikola still flat for me, and I promised I'd get you guys to American Airlines. I did get this short. I talked about this one for you guys on the both on the daily chart. You can look at that 1265. A little bit better to see it on the 15-minute here. When you had this, it's not really like a hard bottom, but multi-day bottom here for a few weeks now through 1265, so I'm short at 64. I did take a scalp out for 10 cents on 20% of the position in front of that 1250. When that goes, I'll start taking more shares off. So a nice little run, hopefully, starting here to the downside as the market slides on American Airlines.
197, just looking here, thinking about grabbing, and I will, 196.89 or so, 196, oops, not 196, 198. Oops, 196. We'll see about taking some Microsoft right here long. If we can get it at that level, that would be great. 197.30 or so, we'll take that if we can get it. Maybe it falls down right here. Apple goes back to 40, 50 cents in the money. We were a little nervous here breaking back downside, so we did capture some of that profit. Now we're holding very, very small left on Apple. And then there it is. We did take a nice little position here on Softy, long at 31s. We'll see if we get back. This is, of course, Microsoft. We'll see if we get back up here into this mid area, looking a lot like Apple. You do have a 196 possible break, 197 to the downside. So right now, Microsoft, we are long again here, not giving these things too much room in case this move continues to go downside, which right now, yeah, we are breaking lower right here, guys. Brendan, what's up?
Nice look for Roku, guys. One from the watch list. Roku up 8%. Just took out 173 there, which corresponds to that level on the daily chart. Big time volume came in as we broke through that 173. So huge move. 8% for Roku, guys.
So we come out of Brendan into a continuation of a winning trade here. It's going to be JP Morgan. If it breaks that 26, we yeehaw action through. Because we're through 50 now, I am going to slide my stop. Ignore these wicks. I'll go with break even. Otherwise, it's got to break $1, and then I will reassess one more time. A nice win on JP Morgan, but it's going to be maybe, well, it's not over yet. But it's likely to be a loser in Nikola. We tried the rollover, didn't quite get to that 28 area, but I'm only giving it to the high that it put in on that rollover. So 27.60 was my stop. It literally just triggered seconds ago. So the roller coaster ride continues. This name on the watch list will take a hit on Nikola and then hopefully extend the win on JP Morgan as the market heads southbound here, but not taking Nikola with it.
Yeah, we did pretty good on Nikola here. We're long at 05. Again, it goes all the way to 60. We got to take some profits out because we did take a bath on Nikola before. Look what we're doing here, though. We did take, thank you so much here for this AMD. We do take a nice little long on AMD here as it was up today. I was trying to find stocks that were going to be long possibilities here in case this market does turn. I think we got some decent ones right now. Apple, nice little trade here. Hit the cowbell. That's $1 plus now in the money as we continue. Well, it was. Now it's 95 cents in the money. Apple, big win. AMD, 40 cents in the money. Hello, we're going arrows up right now as the market trying to get up. AMD, nice little win, and then Nikola, here's 55 cents back for you. So a nice little win here on Nikola. Let's cash some of this out as, yeah, it looks like they're getting squeezed up a little bit. We got to take advantage of this, man. A nice little win, making back what we lost initially. But AMD, the nice little runner. More shares on AMD than Nikola, guys.
Yeah, just watch out here on American Airlines. Look at this 1250 bid I just talked about a little bit earlier. 30,000 shares on on this bid. It's not a huge amount when you've done 10 million, but it's enough that I just took another leg out there at 52. So going to continue to start covering this trade. I need a 50 break to take some more shares off. But at this point, when I see that happen, I'm going to tighten this up a little bit and only give it to about 12.75 or so. I don't need a hard bounce off a buyer like that and then throw away any kind of profits that we have on this name. JP Morgan is pulling back as well. Can't seem to get out of its way as this market comes in. I only have 1/3 left of that position, guys. As it starts to slide back in, I've thrown my stop below that 95.25. So it can't turn into a loser at this point on the JP Morgan long. Only long I have on right now. Brendan, what do you got?
AMPE, another little pharmaceutical company, they're talking about positive results and an extension of a trial on a possible treatment for COVID-19 patients in hospital with severe respiratory issues. So AMPE up big time on that news, guys.
Irons, because AMD right now bringing me back to life a little bit here. Beautiful long at 75.60. We were just trying to use this bottom here. You also did have VWAP, so it was a positive stock making positive moves right now. The only stock, again, that we fell on our face was Tesla. Does not want to seem to go here. So Tesla, unfortunately, the only stock that we're losing on so far today. Microsoft also to the downside. Nikola, though, we make that all back. Thank God for that. And then AMD. Whoa, AMD blowing upside here. Did I miss an upgrade or something on AMD? We saw NVIDIA ripping today. Now we see AMD giving some money into shareholders' pockets once again. AMD making moves to the strong side. We are long right now, 75.59. Not out. We still got a decent position, so letting this one run to the north side here. AMD, good trade here, guys.
Yeah, just watching the market start to bounce. I was looking to see how deep the move in Tesla was. Not to that 438, which is the price that I like. Got to like 43s or so. So still a chance that I could be defending that if we get any further slide. AAL just continues to hold that 1250 level. But I want to go to INO. This was on the bottom. Last name on our watch list, guys. It just powered back towards positive. It was a 1790 test I was looking for at the open. It does not do that. Falls shy at 1760. If I do take a shot shorting this one, it's likely to be in front of that 60 first instead of that perfect 1790 price. So let's look to see if it goes maybe 20, 30 cents higher. I don't want to chase it too far. AAL just broke 1250, so we line that one up and knock it down. I'll start covering some more shares in front of that next little quarter. But we talked about this level. It was a multi-day or a couple of weeks that we've had that 1265 on AAL to play with. I just got some shares out at 40, so that'll be about a 35 or 25 cent win. We'll start to roll some more out in front of 1225, 12 even, as this continues to slide to the downside. Obviously, you have the lack of a deal when it comes to the stimulus package. You also have the numbers getting rather bad over in Europe, which puts pressure on the travel space. Covered all that in our pre-market action.
Here comes Nikola right to the backside. Bang! Nice little 70-cent win right there. Hit the slap shot as we keep going. North side on Nikola. Made it all back, so that's a good one as we go. And one stock that we're looking at right now, right in the face, is UAMD. Beautiful out. In once, out, all the way to the top side. I bet you my Microsoft, obviously, right now is well in the money. Yes, it is. We get out at basically the low. Should have held that one a little bit more, Sean, but that's okay. Pigs get slaughtered, and in this case, we absorb some of that hit, but yeah, right to the downside. Not a great trade there, Brendan. Let's go $1.50 on Microsoft.
I just saw Fastly, guys. Another one with a big time move this morning, 7% coming up to $90, which was a bit of a pivot if you go to the daily time frame. But big move up for Fastly today, guys.
Yeah, this NASDAQ now making moves that we'd expected from before. Look at Apple. Bang! $2 winner right there. Hit the cowbell. Hopefully you guys have this with us. Apple, ding, 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 ding. Ringing that register. And if you rewind it, I also said we're going to be going long at 106. I missed that one. 106 was the bottom there on Friday. So hopefully some of you traders are able to get that, and you're welcome to a 70-cent win now. But $2 right now on Apple. That's a good trade, $105 stock. But $1.15 now on AMD. Even moving more to the north side right now is this banger. So AMD, nice little trade here. Just keep going, buddy. We'll keep cashing that in. Microsoft and Tesla, the only two we've stepped on so far today.
Yeah, and Kodak does come back and trails me out at that $10 range. So even with that hard trail back, our last entry was at 50. So you still get a 50-cent win on that last 10%. It was almost a full dollar winner, just shy of that on our last exit point here. And yeah, do we get a little bit greedy? I wanted to see if we test 9 even. Didn't quite get there. I don't think we're going to be done with Kodak. That 1060 levels, 1057, 1060 level does still loom for me. But has to adjust some stop orders. Don't want to get a trigger now that we're flat on the name. I want to see it roll over one more time. beneath that 1057 level, and I'll go short again. I still have American Airlines, which just bounced off a 35 bottom. Still going with a 75 stop. If we make a serious test below 35 to 25, then I might trail it a little bit further down, guys. INO, there's this break up. It finally started to roll over. I don't like catching it on the way up. I like to catch it on the way down, if at all possible. So just going to do that here as it now tests that 1790 top. That's where I would get out if it wants to stop me out. I don't know if we forgot to mention this, guys. How do we even forget to mention this? Something new, people. We're going to be doing a members-only Q&A session. It's going to be on Monday, the 28th of September. It's 12:30, pretty much right after the show. We're going to grab lunch, come right back, and answer all of your questions for about an hour and a half. It's brand new for all of our members to be able to check it out. So get your questions ready, get your popcorn ready. I think it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun, guys. So definitely check that one out, guys. And immediately, INO. See, I do the promotion, then INO goes against me here. Always have to have a stop. I want to go back to the higher time frame, guys.
Look at Nicola O'Neill. Wow.
If 90 breaks, watch out for this 1890. If it goes another $1 after this top break, there's a couple levels that if it gets through, could go parabolic on INO.
Yeah, and we're saying popping a wheelie right now because Nicola right now breaks through $28. And so I was saying that it was probably a decent spot to maybe pick up some more shares down here, but still a sketchy company, man. Nicola up to 28 and change. Bang, big win. Look, you guys want big winners on? How about this? Apple right now, $2 in the money. You're welcome. AMD, $1.80 now in the money. AMD, $1.80 now in the money. Microsoft, if you still held on and you didn't do what I did, that's $1 plus in the money. Nicola, we still have this. We just talked about it. That's $1.20 in the money. So everything working out well. The only thing that's not right now is Tesla. We're out of it, but that was a bouncer. And then it comes all the way down here to 445. Okay, maybe we go long if we could take out 452-ish on Tesla, but that's the only loser. Bang! Apple, welcome to the party. I was telling these traders, and I actually told you guys at about 9:05, pick up some shares here for the long term. I told you Apple dropped from 140 to 104. That's an opportunity if I've ever seen one before. Apple making money for anybody who took the advice down here at 104, including myself. Back to back, guys. $2 on Apple, $2 on AMD, $2 winner on Nicola. That's what we're doing today. Popping wheelies around here, Brendan.
Another one showing big time strength there, guys. Inovio, Neil mentioned it right before the open there. INO from last week had a decent move up. We're coming back up to this high here. Let's see what happens at 1850 for Inovio, guys.
Yeah, I'm covering my short, so we'll get out of that one. Too strong. 18, if it does break that 1850, Brendan, we talked about that $19 level like a couple of seconds ago. Getting back to a name from last week, it wasn't on our watch, but multiple days last week on our watch list was Dave & Buster's. Going concern issues here. This level, $15 was a big one if you go back to the end of last month. Also a bit of a range there and a hold above that price, at least on Friday. So watch for this break. It is short sell. It should still be short sell restricted. Not down 10% right now, but I'm looking at the short. It just took out the pre-market low. Play on the way back down, guys. Brendan, what do you got?
Volume alert here on HSBC, one of the banks we were talking about in the pre-market here through the high there. 1865, 1870 area. Big time volume spike came in, guys.
Did you say right, HSBC? Guys.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, just got into Dave & Buster's for the first time. We talked about the entire banking space. For me, I should update on that JP Morgan position. It has come back in. So I did trail out of this one for profit. At about 95.25 was the stop price. I got out at 24. So it is going to be a winner on that last little third. I apologize for all these dark pool wicks that are down here. But it just bottomed out about 94.75. It's this level here, 94.50, that it really needs to hold. If it can't hold this, you might get a flush to the downside. I like the breakout trade. Unfortunately, you had to take in the pre-market, so I didn't dip back in until on the way back up at 9:30. It's still going to be a positive stock, but only because I had to stop and stuck to it, guys.
All right, and just to let you guys know, out of AMD, you can't get better than that. We'll drop our draw on that. Drop our jaw, yeah, that's right. Drop our jaw on that one as 75.50 all the way up here for $2 clean. We're out there at 49, good out. We're out on Apple too. May not be a good out, but hey man, $2.50. We take that winner and we bullseye that one out. I'm not gonna get out of Nicola. Nicola long, $27. Hey now, $2 winner. That's 10% return right here for Nicola. Well, even more than than $2 now on that spot. So a good little win happening. What a big day for us on a Monday, Brendan.
Reversal there for Nikola for sure. CLSK, another one, guys. Clean Spark, a little solar company announcing a new project down in South America. Big move up this morning, $11 up to 13. Watch this 13.50 area on the daily chart, but 9% for CLSK, guys.
All right.
Just looking back over at Kodak as it tries to make a bit of a bounce to the upside. Of course, I talked about that 1057 sort of rollover price. Failed to get through that at the open. It's retesting the high. So if we can't break higher than sort of this little level here at 1044, can't even test the higher one, I'm going to look for about a 1025 breakdown. The other trade would be watch for a squeeze. 1060 is going to be that break price. Squeeze up, I will take a quick little long on the event that we do get through 60. I think it squeezes that price. But first look is going to be downside, it looks like, again, on our good friend Kodak. I do want to cover GM, of course. Look, we've talked about Nikola. GM sort of bouncing back here. It's not nearly as strong of a move. Of course, they have that stake in Nikola. If you want to look at this little daily chart here, there was some previous resistance at about like $31. It's about a buck away here, so that could be some natural resistance. I'm watching for a 30 break. If Nikola sustains that move, GM could get dragged along with it through that even dollar.
Okay, and yeah, we're just going to basically do the same thing here, and that is we're long again on Tesla. We talked about going long if it does break through 452. It only goes to 453 there and stops. We're trying to take some out if we can. Move this over. We'll try to take some out if we can here at 454-ish, near that top. But again, it only goes that small dollar. This may not be, I was only thinking here that maybe Tesla now makes the move back upside after failing and not going with the rest of the tech sector. So that's my play here. I understand that it's probably weak based on some of the price action that we've seen elsewhere, but that's what we're working with right here. We're going to give it back to 448.50. I just want to be part of this move if it does finally take off. So I tried to find a good spot to get in. Obviously, a better spot would have been down here at 449, but we take it on this break. Now let's see. It goes as high as 443.50 there, 453.50. Thank you, Valeria, for the coffee refill. But right now we're trying to pound back the waters as well. Hydration Nation, you're in the building. I see you. The wife filled up my big jug today, but I forgot it. So we're pounding back some milk jugs right now. 455. Let's see if Tesla can go. It keeps stalling at 453, guys. Damn it.
Yeah, speaking of stalling, AMC stalling here. Just going to check to see if there's anything going on with this one. Down like 8%, but a big flush and bounce off $5. Brendan, what do you got?
One that had a decent move last week, guys, over the entire week. Trevena here, TRVN, biotech company. If you remember last week, we talked about it breaking above this little consolidation all the way up to 280 here. $3, huge level for TRV and up 4%, guys.
All right, here we go again. Like, here goes Tesla right back down. It looks like we'll get out. Like I said, 449. We tried it one more time. We'll probably be done. It's the only stock that we have really lost any significant amount of money on today, and that's Tesla. And we're just trying it, man. I talked about Battery Day. We thought that there'd be some love coming through on that. Doesn't look like it, but I've already given you my out. 448.50 or so to the downside. We'll be out of Tesla if it fails. Nikola, some questions about that. Where do we get out of Nikola here? Well, it's already fading back down, so I was actually just going to try to hold it back down through this 28 wick. So it looks like that's coming right now. We'll miss out on the ultimate high, but we're already out of most of this up here before 28. Not knowing what to expect today from Nikola. We don't have huge targets on it. Just thought that squeeze may even just continue this thing higher. So 28, we're out in Nikola if that does pop through that.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit more shares off here on AAL at 1240, but it's DraftKings that's sort of piquing my interest here. I mean, we just crashed through $50 after a $2 drop to the downside. Look at this bottom here. You're going to go back to last week. You do have 48, which two-day bottom, both Wednesday and Thursday. That could be an interesting level to defend. In fact, it's one that I'm going to take a shot at. If we get any kind of a bounce off this on DraftKings, obviously this 15-minute chart spectacular when you look at 35, but it's 48 that I'm paying attention to. We bounce off there. Going to try a little bit of a bottom pick in DraftKings. This one heads southbound.
Okay, so we did get out of some of our Tesla there, and we're just going to watch to see if it breaks upside. I guess you just got to keep giving this one to the bottom, man. We did break down below 446, 447. We'll give it one more shot, and See if we get longer in the 448, 449. So when it does bump up, we can enjoy a long on that one. So we've talked about our Nikola, our Apple. What a great trade that was. Sorry, this is Apple here. Yes. I don't know why it's not showing me getting out. Oh, there it is right there. 106.72. Apple goes up another $1, now fading back downside. So we got to watch out for Apple. Wow, Brendan, that Roku that you gave us early, and that was definitely on our watch list, man. Roku, nothing but love to the upside today. Watch out for any possible breakdowns now. Up 11% on that NBC deal. I thought that NBC deal, we've already talked about that last week, but it's nice to see that it's finalized. Roku now making moves back to the upside here. Wow, we got to find room to get into this one. We just did take some more Tesla shares at the bottom. We'll see if this one can keep going upside. Still have a target here, 454 if we can get it. At least now our price is 450.
I'm going to go with the hot dog action. There was a break on a Kodak here. Small one so far at 1060. This is what we talked about a little bit earlier. You know, the rollover didn't happen through that 1043 area, but it has now broken this level from the pre-market, previous support, previous resistance. Now looking for a breakthrough. I've scouted some of it out. If this continues, I think the squeeze could be in play in Tesla, sorry, not Tesla, in Kodak, but I'm not going to give it too much further past that 1025 area. I do still have that play, Dave & Buster's short as well, guys. So I do only have the one long, still have the AEL short as well, but Dave & Buster's looking like it wants to break back to the upside. I'm not going to give it too much past about 1530. That was the opening range bottom. I feel like if it makes that break, it's a much better short testing in front of 16. So we'll go with two separate trades here. I'll go with a tight stop on the first one. If it rolls over, fantastic. Here, going to the higher time frame, guys, you can sort of see how much room you have to play with once it gets below that $15 area. This got as low as 13 if you go back to Thursday.
Okay, yeah, good looks on all of those. We were looking also at Snowflake as well earlier today. Those of you that are trading with us, welcome. It is 10 o'clock. Thank you. Over 6,000 viewers right now, so we're really happy with that. Let's keep the party going to the upside here on Snow, 238, 239. We were looking at this little downside spot here of 223 and change. Snowflake, definitely something to look at as we go. I don't have the coming up for what I'm looking for. We'll get that afterwards, but right now, we're going to go to the big screen with Brendan, and happening now, lots happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. You're going to see some negative numbers still in play as far as what is happening now. Yeah, markets moving to the downside, guys. We'll get that fixed, guys, if you could. That'd be great. Thank you. There we go. S&P 500, you can see leading the way as far as the big names anyways. 1.6% to the downside. The Dow almost 2% at this point. The NASDAQ, better part of 1% here. Tech stocks trying off the open to show some early strength, but stuck in negative territory, obviously. Look at the Russell, 2.8% to the downside for small caps. The S&P TSX here in Toronto, 1.5%. BOVESPA also to the downside. One of those days. Everything in the red to start the new week. Travel names under pressure down in the U.S. That means got to check on Air Canada here in Toronto. Big gap down on the daily chart here today. 5.25%, guys, for Air Canada in negative territory. Huge volume on the sell side as well coming in, pushing that one even lower. ACB, some of the cannabis names under pressure as well. Gapping down here. 850 was a bit of a level on Friday. Trying to get back up to that 850, but got as low as 820 there. Also popping up, doing higher than normal relative volume. Shopify had a nice day on Friday, heading into that rebalance. You can see the big volume spike on the close there. But look at the move off the open here, guys. 1160 up to 1220, up about 2% for Shopify as well. Back over to you.
Yeah, I reserve the right to get stopped out right here on Kodak. When I take longs for a breakout to the upside, maybe thinking it's going to be a bit of a squeeze play, I don't want to be holding on to it too long. I definitely, as you can see, I tend to prefer the short. It's going to be multiple entries to the short side and just one to this long. I did take a little bit out, but if it breaks this 50, I've not moved it up here. There's a bit of an iceberg at that particular price that I'll take advantage of. If it holds, great. What I mean by that is only a few shares you see, like a couple thousand on that level, but they get taken out and then reemerge. So that's what I mean by an iceberg. More shares behind that level than you can see on level 2. Hopefully that's a good thing for me. I don't want to hold this too long. If it makes a test of 1080, I'm going to be out of some more shares and a run to 11. I'll be all flat at $11. There's almost no way I'm holding that long in Kodak. Just not my style, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, guys. Trade your style. I mean, that's what Neil and I always talk about that. Know what you're good at and try to capitalize on those plays more often than taking risks on anything. Make sure you're trying to do what you do best here. And we're trying to get some more long on AMD. It's been my #1 stock today. You guys have seen that right now. AMD 76.60 right here as a nice little bottom. We'll probably give it down to 76.40, kind of the breaking spot there. So we're trying to go some more long on that name. We did get more into Tesla. We talked about buying some of this, and there it goes. It rips up again for me. Another $1.50 in the money. We don't take it. Tesla just so super choppy today. Again, we'll probably get out if it takes out this bottom of 447. Came really close already. I keep hoping, and whenever you're hoping, it's not a good sign. Hoping that this Tesla can make a move back to the upside here. It's probably way overvalued. We've talked about that. We're just trying to play the hype of Battery Day, but it looks like that hype is going to be gone. And if it does, then we're going to be gone on this one. Back down through 447 is our out on that name. And here comes AMD right back to this side here. 76.40 is where we want to get out of this one, especially if it fails. Right now, it's getting close to that fail spot on AMD, guys.
Yeah, I just want to get to another name sort of going into last week's action. We talk about this all the time. You hang on to some of the names that are on the watch list from the week before. Why is that? Because they're going to remain in play. NNOX, which we're having some success shorting. And again, today it's going to be down 14%. Another breakdown, but it hasn't yet broken 30, which it's about to do. The last time it got through this price, it stalled at 28 a couple of times, so watch out for that as well. But NNOX, once again, to that downside action, guys. I did just get stopped out on Kodak. And look, this is going to happen to you. I literally just announced 1050 stop iceberg order on Kodak. A single print just wicked me out here, and it looks like 1050 is still held. But I don't like holding on to these longs. If it's a squeeze play, I feel like it almost should have gone. Let's look to see what happens if it gets to that 1080 to 11 area to the upside before looking for another trade in Kodak. Brendan, what do you got?
I mentioned this one right off the bat, guys. Strong, right out of the gate this morning. This PIC, that SPAC we were talking about back on Friday, that's taking that XL fleet public, just took out day highs there. Now 10.75% on another volume spike. So PIC still going. Yeah, we are very excited, guys. Neil mentioned it there just before 10 o'clock. Our very, very first ever members only Q&A coming up in about a week. If you have not already signed up for the membership, guys, you can join us at 12:30 coming up on September 28th at 12:30, our very first Q&A. All questions welcome. We'll look at charts. We'll look at trading strategies, whatever you guys want us to kind of pick apart with you. We're here to help. Our very first members only Q&A, guys, coming up on September 28th. We're very excited about that, guys.
Yes, we are. We like that one. And yeah, join us there. That's coming up, man. It's only a week away. So put that into your calendar. Members only. So you got to hit that like, join, subscribe, and become a member here with us. And you'll be able to see that Q&A spot. There it goes, AMD flush down. And then obviously Tesla does break that bottom. So I'm going to be done with that one for now. So we will, where's the fall down a hole here? If we can, is this the hole? Yeah, okay. Not a toilet flush right there. Bye-bye. There goes Tesla down through 447. And again, just too choppy here today. We're going to have to look at this one again once it starts to range bound, gets out of its range possibilities right now. AMD, we did take another long down here. We did get some out. We averaged in against this 76. Looks like it's going to work out a little bit. But my ultimate out's going to have to somehow be down here near VWAP, 75.80 or so. Just the market's coming off right now. All of that profit that was taken possibly in the morning is now come off, including Nikola as well. Great trade on this one. We're going to be flat on this stock. However, it was a nice little ripper to the upside there. The only thing I'm really sad about not being able to trade or haven't traded today is Kodak. Good out on Apple as well here. So let's just keep it going, man. Look for some nice little reloads here. What do you guys think about the market? Put it in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. The market's hitting that bottom. And I apologize for this because I did mention this name, ONTX, to you guys. It's penny stock. I know lots of fast movers here, but I did take this trade a couple of times here, rolling into one off of the open, where I did catch this little bottom at 37. It then popped back up towards this level here, that 44-cent pre-market top. I took some shares in front of it. When it rolled over, I was a little bit late to the party, catching some more on the way down. But now we're profiting from this name again. This is just a multi-day gapper. Was on our watch list last week, of course. I'm looking at this level here, 45, which was previous resistance. You go back to June. If it were to break 44, I'll just get out and then look at this, which is about 52 cents, guys. So you know, an easy way if you want to adjust your trading, just add a 0 to it, pretend in your head like it's a $4 or $44 stock, whatever works for you. That's what I'm doing here. I do have this one at 41. I'll take some more shares out in front of that 37. That's like a 10% return, but I am looking for a bigger flush. It was a 32-cent stock at the close on Friday. Ideally, I'd have 10, 15% if it ever got down that far. But a nice little winner here. Not so much in Dave & Buster's, which could stop me out at 15.30 any second. Brendan, what do you got?
Another big mover from last week, guys. LAC, that lithium company we were talking about. Lithium, all the rage, obviously, with electric vehicles. $10 here was this support from Friday afternoon. Just broke to the downside, so 980. Bit of a level here for LAC, guys.
All right, we're going to take a little bit more Apple right down here. We've averaged in and loaded up here on AMD. So if that one can get back into this little area, 76.80, 77 or so, we'll celebrate that one. But we got to take some off as it keeps going upside right now. Long 76.20. We also just took Apple right there, long 106.25. So we'll see if that can get going to the upside again. Look at the market trying. This is the ES. We'll switch it back over to the NQ for you just to give that one a little quick shout. Yeah, it's trying to go. Okay, here we go. A nice little move upside. I will take some off just to make sure we grab some profits there at 33. There it is on AMD. So good move there. And yeah, a 40-cent win right now on Apple as well. Let's take some of that off. So AMD making moves to the upside, as is Apple right now, in a little bit of a market bounce here. I don't know.
Yeah, and speaking of bounces, the DraftKings bounced at 49. I was looking, of course, we just mentioned that 48 level for you guys. A couple of bottoms there. Last week's price action. It looks like a bit of a turn, just shy of that, unfortunately. So not going to pick that one up just yet. I don't think the story necessarily is done. A bit of a sideways action around this $50 area. I would have loved 48. Sometimes you don't get what you wish for. And if you're dip buying, if you have a target entry, usually you want to stick to it. If you long too early and you have a support level, you want to make sure it fits your risk parameters. So I wasn't really looking to long over $1 above that 48 level. We'll see if it does get tested one more time. Unfortunately, the first trade, which I don't think it'll be the last one, but the first trade, like I said, in Dave & Buster's, was going to be stopped to 15.30. I am looking a little bit higher on this time frame, and this is why I wanted to have a tighter stop here. You look at this level here, 16.60. We actually had short at that price last week around that 16.60. It holds that again on Friday. So if it does make another test to the upside, I'd be looking to enter it on a break of 16 that does not get through 16.60. Going concern issues with Dave & Buster's. That's the reason it fell off so hard from $20 last week.
Yeah. And there was someone was claiming that possible bankruptcy over there. So AMD, nice little moves to the outside again. We'll floss it off because we did put some decent risk on there. So a nice little move upside. And look at Apple. Apple continues to go as well. So a big mover there. You roll the dice on this technology name. And yeah, I just wish I was, well, I mean, I don't wish I wasn't trading. I wish I had bought some more down here before the show even started, but that's okay. We'll pick up some Apple after the show for the long-term investment. Here we go, 107 and change. Still making moves to the upside goes Apple. A nice little dollar, almost $1 in the money right here. Keeps going up, and away. I did want to check back on Tesla, or do I want to? No, I do not. Good thing we dumped that. Like I said, look, longs everywhere, but we did lose on Tesla today, so we put that pig in the bank. We'll see if it can make some money. Again, we may dump this one ahead of Battery Day. It doesn't look like they're getting too much upside on this one, so we'll have to wait to see if Battery Day is even going to be a thing there. Apple, little foolish maybe not taking this off right here as the NASDAQ trying to go. Here we go, upside. Keep going, Apple. Nice little dollar winner right there for a chicken dinner winner for Apple. $1 plus in the money right now. Hope you guys had that with us. And there goes AMD as well. Nice little move to the upside on AMD as the NASDAQ retracing. Hit me at 61. Boom, 50-cent win right there. And I do hear that it is time to explode some money and throw it back over to Brendan with some upgrades and downgrades.
Hey guys, yeah, let's get you a few more symbols to have a look at this morning. We'll talk about some upgrades and downgrades on that side. There's Apple. Yeah, even with the negativity, we were talking about a number of price target increases coming in this morning on Apple. ACB, I mentioned already. Look at Oracle leading the way down there as far as upgraded stocks this morning. Darden, restaurant's going to struggle, unfortunately, as long as this pandemic is with us. Let's shift over and have a look at Oracle first. We talked about the positive news here, but looking to test lower here. Possible possibly even get back down to that 59.50 where we were trading on Friday on the news with TikTok, obviously. DRI, Darden Restaurants, gapping down. Couple of downgrades on this stock. The entire group here. We mentioned the travel names. Restaurants, obviously, a part of that. 86, a big time level on the daily chart for Darden Restaurants. Let's go back to Sean.
Yeah, back to me here at AMD with a nice little runner. Big time win here on AMD. I mean, look what we've traded today, guys. Apple, you can't get much better than this. Long at 104.65. That's basically the low of the day. Mind you, the very first candle. So Apple, beautiful long and out the rest of this one, man. That was a $2 win on Apple. Then we noticed this dip downside and we say, hey, you know what? Let's take another shot. Apple reloaded. We say that sometimes on this show. Gonna find the stock logos. Again, my thing is all messed up, but we will smile again as Apple makes another move to the upside. We did take some out super early for 30-cent win, but now we're enjoying a dollar on that name as we go. The only stock that's been a mistake for us so far has been Microsoft. Out a little bit too early on Softy. I don't necessarily think this was a mistake. I got to clear this bad wick, but Microsoft, we did go long here, man. 197 before it pops to 199. So hopefully you still have that one. Nikola, big time win for us as well. However, it's now making more moves to the upside. Goes Nikola here. So Nikola in here, enjoyed it to the upside, did get out on a 28 break. You got to stay a little bit of discipline, and that's what we were here as we're on fire right now with some of these names. The only stock that's been a mistake, and I think, thank God, we were able to get out because now Tesla near its day's low, and we were able to dump this stock. Obviously at 450 breaks, then at 448 breaks, and then at 447 breaks. So look, this name just keeps on fading itself back downside. That is Tesla. Uber? What? I don't know why we didn't notice Uber here. It's not that we didn't notice it. Obviously, it's going to get killed as coronaviruses continue to increase. I did want to say a big shout out to some of our members here, though. Exodo Outlet, thank you so much for that. And I think we had got a few more members. Yeah, Ocean as well. And I apologize. I think that might have been it for today. But remember, if you can hit the coming up number 2, Brendan or Neil or somebody.
I can throw it right now.
Why don't we do this? I think. There we go. Let me talk quickly, Neil, and I'll throw over to you. Look, it's very important for us, guys. Members only. Hit that up. It's going to be for next Monday. We're going to see how it goes over with everybody. You need to be a member. You'll get the link sent to you, and then you can hit up me, Brendan, Neil, and Valeria, almost like a one-on-one, but it'll be members and us, and we'll take your questions live. Should be exciting, Neil.
100% should be exciting, guys. So I'm going to throw that one off here. But I want to come back to INO. I said I'd take a couple of shots at this one here. And the first level was, of course, at 1790. The second level is going to be that 1850. I just jumped in front of it to the south side here at 1830. And again, just going to use this as a bit of a level to short in front of. 25-cent scalp. Of course, I'm risking about 20 pennies plus slippage. So first leg is usually about the amount I'm going to risk here. If it holds below this 18 and then breaks the 1780, that would be the next target to the downside, where we unfortunately had that 17 short in front of 1790. So that would be the target range for the second, third. And then hopefully, if it all goes well, we break down and get maybe like anywhere from a 70 to 80 cent winner on the final third of that. But if it breaks that high, we're all out. And then looking at that 1890 to 19 area to the upside. But I believe we have Brendan. What do you got?
Another one moving recently, guys. Vivo Power. Remember VVPR? We had this huge run up from $2 to 13. We're getting back up towards that 12, kind of 13 area. VVPR, they picked up a privately held company also in their space over the weekend. So that deal announced this morning. Big move, 26% on that news today. We mentioned off the top, if you joined us at 9 o'clock this morning, the negativity over in Europe. Valeria is watching what is moving over in Europe this morning. What's up, V?
Yes, Brandon. Travel sector is under pressure in Europe, with British Airways owner IAG falling more than 11%. Back to you.
Yeah, hard to get away from travel stocks today, guys. 3+% still over in Europe, guys.
Give a shout out to travel stocks. All in black today. I don't know if that was with the market getting hit.
Not all black.
Or there she is. Give away, Valeria. All in black, the Black Widow there. And not necessarily for the market, but looking good all in black. So I remember I wore that one day and the market dropped like 700 or 800 points. So hopefully that's not something to come through. But here we go. Apple, we just got some out. The market looks like it's making another move to the upside.
Yeah, Brendan mentioned the travel space. Of course, I still have this short here in American Airlines. It's hard to ignore. It just put in these level here, 1235 a couple of times. So I did take more profit out as it retests. Each time it retests, I'm going to take a little bit more out here. I'm now hanging on to just 20% of the position. And I haven't moved my stop yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Anytime it forms this kind of a consolidation bottom, I'll give it up if it takes out like 50 to 55 range here. And then just looking to see if it can flush further. It's already been a good trade. At this point, you don't want to turn a winner into a loser. That obviously can't happen. But I don't want to get stubborn if it actually holds its 1235 bottom, when you could always add to a position on a breakdown through that level. So nice trade here in American Airlines. I'll get you guys back to INO, which is the new position that I put on, well, the most recent position that I put on. Again, it's trying to roll over here off of this 1850 high. This also goes back to Friday's top as well. So if this breaks any further down, we'll have another nice little out below 1780 or so to the downside on INO. Brendan, what do you got?
Just watching Oracle and Walmart here, guys. Oracle will flip over to Walmart. Yeah, big downtick there for Walmart. Just saw a headline come through suggesting that China will not approve the current TikTok deal the way it is currently formatted, guys.
Oh, that's not good. But what is good right now is an idea that we had on Mr. Softy. Yeah, nice little run up here on Softy. I'm going to edit this away from you if I can. But here we go, guys. We went long. You can see the long position right now. 197.80. It's now upside through 198. We just took some out at 08. So that's a 30-cent win as we go. We've taken out twice, 2 spots here on Microsoft. We got to wick this out and see. Sometimes we do get these deep prints that are bad. So 955, just to show you what kind of options we have here. 955, you can go right in, and you see it never made this high, 210.62. So I'll just switch this to 198 maybe, and then we'll see how much better this chart is going to look for us right here. There it is. So in here, 197.80, out 197.97, out some 198.08. Now we'll hold the rest and see if Microsoft can't make moves back to the upside. But we do have VWAP right now. We just want to try to maybe gain a little bit of an edge, grab some positions here ahead of VWAP, and then dump it if it does break. Not a big risk position here as the market very, very choppy at these levels. We just want to be on something just in case it does blow to the upside.
Yeah, you're looking at Walmart hold above positive, just barely here, 135.29 on that news. Of course, Oracle holding its bottom as well for the time being. Brendan just gave that to you. Those are 2 names that you are going to watch on any updates for this potential TikTok deal, which did get the seal of approval, at least verbally from the U.S. here and Donald Trump, but not necessarily getting it from China, which remains to be seen. I want to get to this VVPR that Brendan had mentioned. Another parabolic move up before. A bit of a reversal here at 1150. Sorry. One of the reasons why I'm not actually involved in this short just yet is I was looking to see if it would have tested higher, at least through its highest close at 1190. That's what I would have liked to see in front of that $12. And then from there, you can see a couple of wicks higher, $14 and $15. But 12 was the first level I would have liked. From some ones that move fast, we got some bigger cap names like AAL. We've got INO on right now. We traded some JP Morgan successfully all the way over to a penny stock this morning, ONTX. This is one of those where it's not an incredibly difficult trade. A couple of nice wins here, both pre-market and then on a pop. It did just flush down to 38. My best out was 37. If it breaks this 37, 38 area, I mentioned I want to make sure I still have more on. I've got still over half my position here to the short side. Our last entry points at 41 and 42. I'm looking for 32 cents. That's where it was on Friday. I've seen these things give everything back before. See if we can't work this one to the downside. If it breaks 44, next level to the upside, 48 and then 52. I'm watching on ONTX. Speaking of small caps, let's go to Brendan at the big screen for small cap recap.
Let's indeed talk about some small caps, guys. Not an overly busy day in small cap world, but we'll mention a few here. We talked about this one, AMPE. Wasn't doing anything, you can see in the pre-market, but popped up right at the open. Positive news around a possible treatment for severe cases of COVID-19 with patients in hospital. So if I flip over to this side, you can see 125 is that high from way back when. Had a big move up. So just watching this 125 up here where the black line is, we'll see what happens if we can get back down. This thing was was a penny stock on Friday. So we'll see if we can get back down to $1 at least on AMPE. Kodak, man, what a great opportunity that was this morning. Huge trade, 1080, 1140 was this pivot from back on Friday, but 1080 was the little resistance here in the pre-market. So nice opportunity around 1040, 1050, depending. Got all the way down to 9, or just about 9. So a huge move to the downside. One loser for me today, VXRT. Very, very strong. VXRT, INO, there's a few of these vaccine-related names that were very, very strong right off of the open. I was just watching this little high from Friday, which was 865, 870. Stopped out about that. Above that, I will revisit this if we get anywhere close to 950 and then 975 again on VXRT. Guys, back over to you.
All right, and we come back, and finally, thank God, an idea that we actually had worked out here. No, today's been actually a good day for ideas. Only Tesla been a bad one so far. Just trying to go long on Tesla. I want to see where that's going to drop. Look at Microsoft. We said we wanted to have some on just in case. Bang, bang, bang. Welcome to 40-cent win right there. We actually did take some out for 50 at the high side when we did break through there. So Mr. Softy, one of my favorite stocks, gets put into the money bag there and cashed in a little bit, as now it looks like we're going to fade back through. So let's keep on looking to get long. But Mr. Softy, just another successful stock right here. Cannot lose on it now on this trail back down through 50. But a nice little win here on Softy. Getting back everything that we lost early. Now we only have to seek revenge on our boy Elon Musk in Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, I keep looking for Tesla to stop going sideways, failing through 450. And again, it's 438 I was looking for, and it hasn't even broken this 43 level. So it's actually putting in a bit of a higher low if you look at it from that standpoint, which could be good. But the market, I look at the ES and both the NASDAQ, just hanging around this little bottom. I'm not going to bottom pick in this name just yet, but I do see screaming to the upside is Zoom. I know you guys are watching that, but I need to get back to that AL. I talked about that bottom at 1235. So now that it's broken that, I'll take some more out in front of that 1225, that quarter level. And then from there, we're just looking for a hold, guys. This was a level that we're watching for a couple of weeks now, a 1265 break to the downside. It hasn't been nearly a parabolic move, but again, AL's not a stock it's going to give you always $1, $2, $3 type move. It's a nice one here. I'll take some more shares out there. Just got some out at 29. I'm going to hang on to see if we can test 12 even. It's been a great trade, but again, on the watch list, one that we watched in the travel space in general, lots of names you could trigger into. I just like this level break at 1265 on AL particularly. Brennan, what do you got?
Yeah, just watching Zoom, we mentioned there, Neil mentioned there very quickly, huge move up 6%. We're right near this high, 480, 479, 480 up there, which is recent highs, obviously, for Zoom. There was a couple of analysts out this morning increasing their current quarter projections for Zoom when it comes to earnings. So a little bit of positivity from that, guys.
Okay, we're going to look at this one right now. CCL right here down near the day's low. Shout out to Elizabeth Miller. Thank you for coming on last week, Elizabeth. And also shout out to Daryl. I know you guys are always looking at CCL. The bottom here, 1446. I like a break of that. Could be a problem here going into today with everything happening. Only problem, there we go. We'll go short right now. Only issue really is all these COVID cases. We'll see if that's going to continue to be a negative Nancy for all these stocks and world in general. I don't think anybody's going to be booking. The second wave is coming. A lot of these bookings, I believe, will probably get canceled. This is just all my theory. I have absolutely no idea. Carnival, really not too much news today other than what's been happening in the travel space as a whole. So we're not going to give this one. This is a breakout trade, so maybe we'll give this one back to 1462 or so, which is where VWAP is. We'll average in a little bit up here, 1455 or so. But if we're right, let's give this one some downside. So we're giving it about 15 cents upside. So yeah, do I think we can get into the 1430s? Hell yeah. Clear sailing to the downside now. Look out below, hopefully here on CCL, guys.
Yeah, and so when you talk about lookout below, that was the story initially on Kodak. The reason I got out of that long, I said I just don't hold longs in this name particularly. I was looking for a potential squeeze through that 1857. It just didn't happen. That's where we get in and out rather quickly of the long. It looks like it's trying to test back below this 10 area, and if it breaks 10 even, I'm going to jump right back into this short. The only issue, down 15%. short sell restricted if that's the case, meaning I cannot hit the bid when 10 breaks. I have to hope to get a little bit lucky on an uptick when 10 breaks. I'm putting the order in for a stop, shorting 10 when it goes in Kodak. Brendan, what do you have?
One trying to bounce here this morning, guys. PayPal, nice look for PayPal, up 2%. We got down into some significant levels on the daily chart going into the weekend on Friday. So big move down over the past week and a half, but PayPal looking strong, guys.
What? PayPal looking strong. Yeah, they were pretty. Yeah, it's been a rough ride for PayPal and Square as I look. But here we go. Microsoft's out right there. We tried to get some out at 80. We saw a little bit of a resistance upside there. So Microsoft right now will put in the gates of hell for a try on that. And it just does break there. We showed that. Oh, does it break? I don't know. I guess my order was a little bit too premature there. It basically bounces off, and what a surprise. I made that mistake again. Bounces off of VWAP. We should have held it for a little bit lower than that, so we're out of Microsoft on a bit of a mistake trade there, but that's okay. The market is coming back downside. We're okay getting out of it where we did. We got out of it at 39 there, so we give ourselves a little bit of slippage on that, sorry. We also did try to get some more 52s there, believe it or not, as I was talking about CCL, but now CCL making moves back to the downside right here, so a good little trade on Carnival Cruise Lines. Push. Sound like we're in labor over here. We're going to give this to the downside now, 1442, maybe 1440 to break. Nice little look there on Carnival. Let's get some out, and then, like I said, see if we can't regroup. But right now, we are giving this 20 cents, so we're looking to take at least 10 here on the first move.
Yeah, wow, Roku is all I can say here. Just going to this top here at 185.50, and it's hard for me to see a parabolic move like this and not take a shot at it. So I did just jump in front of that high day. Sorry. Executions on the daily chart there. A little bit easier to see if I hop to like a 15-minute. This is the level I'm talking about. I just grabbed some shares short and got 185.23 on Roku in front of this top. I did not think we'd be staring this one in the face in like 1 hour after the open, yet here we are on Roku, guys. I might, if I can get another entry, I'd love to see if I can. I'm not thinking it's going to go all the way back, but there was this level here at 179 that does feel like it could be a nice little target on kind of a pullback in Roku. If it resists that high, could have a nice short on here, but ultimately $5 is about as much as I'll look to take off it. It just went $20 to the upside. What a run by Roku. Brendan, you were all over that one.
Yeah, and again, if you want to be all over everything with us here, make sure you join our watch list. And we keep promoting it because it's big for us and it's big for you guys. It's free. Here's Roku, man. We talked about this in the pre-market. Here's the news. You might say, oh, why are we talking about Roku? Universal, here we go. Streaming services, yada, yada, platform, et cetera, et cetera. So there it is. There's the news for you on Roku. Also CCL on our watch list. And I continue to be short that name. Looking to get some out, man. We just got some out 42s and 43s. Looking for some 41s now on the downside. It seems like we're getting some resistance here, but not too much. The force is weak with this one as CCL, bang, nice little win there, and we'll hit a swish on this. We had this idea today on CCL. We were very, very patient with it. Now we're getting rewarded to the downside here, Neil.
Yeah, and here comes Roku sort of screaming back in, guys. I was able to get a second entry point in there. My average price works out to 184.44 now. So if it rolls, like I said, there was a support down here at 182. So first target, I want to get out in front of it. If 182 goes, I mean, like I said, 178, 179, something in that range, I think could be the next level. Just going to that higher time frame. We got Roku in the money $1 here. Just going off that top that we showed you on the 15-minute chart. If it takes out the high, all done, no moss. I'm not going to stand too far in front of that train, but a nice one here, at least for now, in Roku to the short side of all things. I feel like there's a lot of names that are moving today that are from last week's watch list, and Cassava Sciences, again, is another one of these here, guys. It's down 10% as well, and it just rolled through $9 even. So if you're watching Sava, worth noting, this previous top level was at 10.20. This is what it's failing at, and now coming back in. And last support was down at $7. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I apologize. I was trying to find who it was there, but Super Chat came in regarding gold and a big move down in gold prices. Yeah, it's a move from gold, it looks like, into the U.S. dollar. So just the safe haven play when it comes to the spiking COVID cases over in Europe. A lot of uncertainty still when it comes to even the U.S. election coming up. So big move up today we're seeing in the U.S. dollar and a huge move down, guys, in gold. Lots of ways you can look at it. This is just the ETF, GLD. 3% now. Day lows here for gold, guys.
Tesla Hello, Tesla. We wish we would have decided to go short on this name. But yeah, Tesla right here, Brendan, getting wood shedded. I don't know what's happened. This is just a 1 minute chart from 440. We're basically down. And it's not huge, but it's about $15. And the reason why this looks huge is because we were in a little bit of a range here. And like I said, we've been talking about Battery Day for a very long time. Obviously, the news is there. We're going to come out tomorrow. But now today, getting hit, man. This is why we get out. We identified Tesla was very, very weak early. We took a few stabs. And then as soon as this broke, man, we said forget about it. What we should have done was absorb the VWAP here and gone short into this number. But we do have one of my largest trades of all time was a Tesla short. That video's to come later on in the week on our Market Wisdom page. But watch out for that as Tesla, man, cratering right now. And again, I don't want to say it, Neil, but this was on our watch list. So, wow, Tesla.
You can say it. It was on the watch list.
It might have been downgraded. I don't know what happened.
Roku was on our watch list. Just took some shares out at 181.88.
Yeah,
that's going to be a $2 winner on those shares. Now, if it breaks that floodgate through 181, okay. I talked about this on the higher time frame, guys. So I'm doing some backflips over here. I can't do them in real life, guys. So I like to simulate them here, and I probably wouldn't do it in a suit anyways. But looking at this 178 area for the last third of this position out. So vaulting to the top of my board, Roku, and I didn't think it would be short, but what a parabolic move. It made up into this 185.50 top. Another one from our, look, it is what it is, guys. Another one from the watch list today. We talked about the travel space. Gave you that 1265 breakdown. The flush continues in American Airlines, headed towards 12 even. It's a multi-day level break, and the market is heading southbound. So we got this one to the short side here. In addition to INO, which INO's relative strength is being shown, as far as I'm concerned here. You're seeing some stocks start to turn, but watch it hold this top. You're working to a short like this. You've got to make sure you have a stop through the high of day because it's getting rather bullish as the market slides back in and INO refuses to give back. I went short once and lost. I went short once again and made a small win. If it does not continue to go further down, trust me, when it takes the top off, I'll be negative on this stock today. But it is holding a range, and as long as it does, I've got my stop at the top. I got an order to take some out if it tries the bottom, and then from there, looking for about 1730 to 40 in front of that 1725 as the ultimate out. Got to get there first in INO.
Man, have I missed trading you. Hashtag CCL as we just continue to go to the downside right now, making that quick money here as we post that up. You can follow all of us, obviously, on Twitter as we go. Neil, Sean, and Brendan. Ask us any sort of questions you may have. Look at CCL out there, 30s. Look, when we first made this trade, and you guys can rewind the tape, and you probably should, we gave this one about, I was telling you, bout back to this side here, 60s or so off of 48 break. So now we're into that range where the risk and the reward is roughly the same. We take some out now on the downside of CCL. Look at the NASDAQ pumping itself to the downside. Watch the ES here as well, guys. The S&P 500 making moves to the downside. As we get closer and closer to European close, the market is definitely feeling ways here as we continue to make moves to the downside. Brendan, give us something else.
Another one of the banks we were talking about in the pre-market, guys. Deutsche Bank here just popping up on a volume spike. You can see obviously traded over in Europe as well. But just breaking day lows here for DB in New York as well. Now almost 9%, guys.
Yuck. We'll look at that one. Yeah, Deutsche Bank's had problems with HSBC too, Neil. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And I talked about hopefully INO would go. I did take some more shares out there, so we do get that 50-cent win. I don't know. I'm going to hit the Mortal Kombat because if this can hold, this will be one of the more patient trades for me because I actually waited for it to make another test to the upside of that high. It was a double top. Wait for another test before rolling into it. It did get down to 1750, but look at that spike on volume. We got this one now. I can tighten up my stop if I want to. Roku trying to come back here. So, you talk about the rocket ship that stock has been. It looks like, it's seeming like it really wants to hold this 181 top. And again, if it makes a run at the high, like I said, I'm going to be all gone. That 185.50 level, when you talk about this top here, I don't want any part of being short when it takes this one out, guys. Watch out to the top side. What a strong name Roku has been. And, of course, Brendan gave that to you live on our watch list.
Yeah, exactly. And we can't keep on talking about the watch list without you guys subscribing. Make sure you do that. It's been a big one for us. Okay, I did want to go back to Apple. As by the way, Carnival, man, 18 cents now in the money. Just keeps on crashing down. It's the only position I have. We're in and out of a few of those. And look, we want to welcome all of our new members as you guys are going to get ready for next Monday. We do have a members-only Q&A, and it's $4.95 or something to join up. You're going to get us, and we're going to answer, hopefully, questions that you have based on anything trading related. Thank you so much to Yuri, and a what's up to Arthur Martinez as well. Thank you for joining us. That link will be going out next week as we decide the best way to take those questions from you. It should be a good one, and we are excited for that. Brendan sort of mentioned here, and I can hear him over the back of my shoulder, that there was really nothing on Tesla. So that might have been a beauty of an opportunity to get long. However, when we were talking about that, it was up here at 426. So it did jump all the way down to 414 and change. So watch out here, man. More to come maybe on Tesla. Not a horrible shorting opportunity. If you can get back to 428-ish here, Neil, not bad, but I don't want to short it on its way down. I'd rather wait for a pullback like we just had. So temporary missed opportunity on Tesla. Let's see if we get another pullback, and then we'll short it into what appears to be just negative sentiment here today.
Yeah, I mean, if I was looking if it had held 438, and of course, as you can see, it clearly didn't. I mean, it was just chewed through that like absolutely like a knife through butter. I guess on the way back up, that's going to be at my short level. I do have only shorts on, and the only one, believe it or not, every short, AL, INO, Roku, all in the money short, and it's Kodak short. Believe it or not, that's out of the money, 15 pennies for me. So go figure. Brendan, what do you got?
Another one that's looking a little bit weak at this point, guys. We talked about this PIC being strong, got all the way up here to 14, but big reversal here now underway, back below 1350, which was that support. So let's see what happens. PIC, we're below this, or not below yet, I should say. 1315 was the high from back on Friday, guys.
Oh, man. Yeah, everything. I'm trying to find something to go short as well here because the market is just crumbling. Apple, AMD. We've loved our AMD longs today. We'll push this back up so you guys can see it. AMD longs have been fantastic today, but bang to the downside. Now it starts heading southbound right here on negative news coming through, obviously, on the market here. Gas futures worse. Dow falling now 800 points. Gold below 1900. You guys want to see gold? We did get a super chat about that. Thanks, Brendan. The rotation may be into the dollar, away from some of this safe haven. Look at gold here, guys. This is GLD.am. So if you're looking to trade something other than spot gold itself, GLD on the Amex is the gold ETF. So this basically mimics gold. So if you are looking to put some protection into your portfolio, I don't know if this gold is protection nowadays. Generally it is. So get some gold if you're a little bit nervous about this market. Check out the daily chart. Neil, just quickly, just so people are asking about it. 180 break. We did get as high as 195. Let's go, Bran.
Not only gold, guys, but silver getting crushed today as well. So silver to the downside. That means this, ZSL on the AM. This is an ultra short ETF. So spot silver goes down. This one's going to go up significantly. 20% move here for ZSL. Look at the volume coming in right now, guys.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use this one. You know where this one comes from, Sean. You can put it on the board. Yes. INO gets me out at 1735. I'm still hanging on to a small position here. Look, on the off chance INO wants to give it all the way back to 1650. And if you don't know where that's from, you probably aren't a baseball fan, which I know a lot of you aren't. My team is limping into the playoffs. But Chicago, on the other hand, the White Sox, legendary announcer Hawk Harrelson, that's where that came from. They're looking pretty darn good. I want to get back to Roku. I've sort of, I'm teetering on this one, and I'm gonna say it right here. Under normal circumstances, if it were to break this 181, I would 100% of the time be putting a trailing stop in and then not allowing it to come back to the upside. I'm not going to do that this time because I feel like if this goes, it's just too much of a gap fill, and I'm already playing with some house money here, guys. So I do love this retracement play off of that high at 185.50. We're going to stick with this one. I also still have that American Airlines, but I want to go back to what is probably the easiest trade of the day. You go from trading Roku, which is making $20 moves, over to not overstock, ONTX. It continues to flush down. I talked about taking more shares out. If it broke 37, my pre-market level, that's exactly what I did on the way down here, 37 and 36.5. It did bounce back to the upside, so I took more out at 37.5, and I'm still holding about 40% of the position here, guys, that we got up here, 41 and 42. I will not let it go back above 40. That would be almost like a reload point, but my stop is going to move from high day to that 40 level, looking for 32. That was where it closed on Friday. That's the ultimate target. If it breaks the pre-market or the opening range low, pre-market low actually, at 36, I'll likely take some more shares out in front of that first.
Yeah, well, let's put everything on the board, Neil, as the market continues to fall down. And I mean, you want to talk about a big banger? We did take out the big stick. We tell you that when we're going to do it, and here it is. We slay. I don't know if this is the one I want to hit, but we'll talk about slaying Brendan here. I don't know. Okay, there he is. Let's get him, Brendan. Get him, Brendan. There we go. To the downside goes the market, and yeah, we've been following CCL all the way down. Still really happy with the amount of shares that we have on CCL. The banger that continues to be the cruise lines and travel in general, Neil, just continues to get hit and hit hard, and CCL part of that name as well. So yeah, we're trying to get more short on some of these names. CCL, just one of those. Good out. We did go all the way down to 14.05. Don't really have a spot where we could go short now on CCL. Let's just let this thing continue to fall, and we'll just get out, man. I mean, this is a big mover. If we go over to a daily chart, we probably are at some resistance here. No, not really. 13.13. We did bounce off here, but that was 14.20. So we are well below this. Let's look for a little bit of a break now through 14, maybe stopping spots, 13.60. Maybe. Shout out to Daryl and some of our viewers out there who are on this with us. Maybe give us a little note here where you think CCL could go. And there it is, trying to break through 14. But back over, I guess, right now to the big board with happening now. That's an ugly board, Brendan.
Ain't pretty.
Yeah, let's figure out what is going on today. Look at this thing, really red right across the entire board here today. You can kind of pick and choose whatever you'd like as far as sectors are concerned for weakness, overall weakness in the market. I wanted to mention this one, real estate stocks, the little teeny tiny REITs, all 5+% for the most part in negative territory. So those, or that group at least, really getting hit today. Communication stocks, you'll find Fox A in here, you'll find Comcast in here. We talked about a few of these already. Dish Network as well, all 3+% to the downside. We'll come over to industrials. This is where most of the weakness is coming from. You can see GE, guys, 8% to the downside so far today. WAB, ALLE, FLS, and URI, 6+% to the downside. Here's all the airlines. Top of the board in the transportation group, Dow 10%, UAL, ALK, and Love all 8+%. There's AAL. 7+%, even FedEx coming under pressure, 4.5% to the downside. As I mentioned, take your pick. Consumer discretionaries, the banking sector, we mentioned healthcare stocks as well, really, really negative. It is pretty ugly, 2.5% for the overall S&P 500, guys. Back over to you.
Brent, maybe get to the desk here. I just saw on Twitter something about Milton being arrested. I don't know if it's going to be true, guys. It's just you don't want to have anything that just jump into a trade. I take a small one here when I saw that headline. You want to make sure this is actually legitimate before getting too actionable here. But it was right at this consolidation point anyways, right about to break where my initial short had trouble rolling over, guys. So I'm going to take a quick little shot here with basically the same structure if it is true. And again, I'm not saying that it is. I just saw it over there on Twitter. So if we can hold 27.50, that's going to be the shot. Roku, I mean, unbelievable, right? So my number one stock of the day is going to be Roku, shorting it. There it goes through the top. An unbelievable run here. And again, Brendan giving this one on the watch list. Brendan talking about it. It'd be like $25 from bottom to top if you look at the low in the pre-market. And actually the opening range bottom, it was at 163. It's like $20 from there easily. What an absolute crazy run. Roku's been on up 16%. It just does not stop. This one's been in play since last week. And I can't believe my top stock is shorting this thing and not even any of these longs to the upside as Roku continues to go. Just broke the high.
Yeah, it's hilarious because we did ask Elizabeth last week if anybody we knew had a Roku there, and nobody did, but we'll see here. Okay, NIO, EIEIO is now down 8%. Yeah, I guess electric is not the thing right now for the market. As you could see, Tesla, wowzers, man. We got out of Tesla's way early, and thank God we did, man. Up here at 450. What a tank on Tesla. Just comes right back to the downside. Neil gave you $25 there on Roku. Obviously, this stock is half the price, but double the move, basically from 455 down to 406 and change. 407, what is the bottom here? Yeah, 407.04 downside there. And we talked about getting reloaded maybe on Tesla for a downside move. 420, there it is. There's that the price that Elon Musk tweeted about. However, Neil, of course, it split 5 times since then. Yep. So 420 not as relevant right now as it was in the past. Look, I hate to tell you guys this, but I may try a long through Tesla if it does break through 428. Man, I got to get this bias out of our head. Maybe we got to do a video on bias. It's not, I am a shareholder of Tesla. Pretty much everybody is. I would think at some point if you're trading momentum stocks, but this stock, definitely some momentum out of it right now. Tesla just looking to retake 428. This may be a good spot to short it though. Not bad opportunity. 426, 427. Let's take a short into 428. So I think that's a better idea right now.
Yeah, I mean, 38 just seems like it's not going to happen for us here. Continue to bounce a one shot, took another shot at Nikola. That's 0 for 2 on that name. So let me hit this one because I don't use it very often. And it's like good timing. There we go. Wah, there you go, crying it off like looking like my daughter there when dinner time rolls around. Another name that I feel like has been a bit neglected today, but you're gonna watch. I'm not trading Snowflake with this sideways action. You know, if it takes out the top, 250 was a big level on Friday, so 239 might be a bit of a breakout there. Now, otherwise, you know, 220, 215, some levels that we can work with to the downside. Volume tapering off and the volatility just seemingly not there on this name. Kodak, like I said, I did jump into another short on Kodak. It has bounced off my order one time. Want to see if it can roll over another time here. I could go with a tighter stop, something like a 10.20 up here instead of giving it to 10.50. It just feels like the read that I've had, I shouldn't dig in too deep. We did have the one big trade. I got very, very greedy on this trade in Kodak and allowed it to trail all the way back to $10 for only a 50-cent win on the last little bit. This trade will go a little bit of a tighter stop to see if it can roll over one more time. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, just caution, guys, when it comes to Nikola. Not seeing anything in the way of concrete reporting, I would say, that would suggest that is true. The arrest of Trevor Milton there, but the stock also doesn't seem to mind bouncing off 27 here pretty hard. So I'll keep looking, but nothing yet, guys.
I'm not sure.
That's why we got him.
I was going to say, I'm not sure like how big a news that is. The guys stepped down. They've already acknowledged everything. But yeah, I guess it would add some credibility to some of these reports that obviously the stock has been flawed and shareholders have been lied to. So yeah, not a good look there for Nikola. I'll probably, I don't know, I don't want to talk about what I'm going to do long term on that stock. I still think it's early days, but that stock does not look good. Do not get more shares right now. You could also get delisted. And again, these are just things that can happen. You saw what happened with Luckin Coffee. Just look at that if you want to get some examples of what once high flyers can now be. Luckin Coffee, formerly LK, now LKNCY, over on the pink sheets and brought back and forth and so on and so forth. So watch out for that. Okay, Tesla, we're still going to give this to 428. We are now in the money $1. We're short 424.50 right now. Well, I mean, now it's back to flat. Now it's in the money $1. This is just going to go back and forth. Looking at a 416 or so spot down here for Tesla. If we can get that, thank God, we'll take this $80, but we are looking to average in and use a 428 top. Let's see what Tesla can do right now. Give it to us, Brandon.
A couple of solar names to deal with today. This is another one, Jinko Solar, JKS, 5% to the upside today. They announced plans for Chinese subsidiary. So a nice look here for JKS today, guys.
Yeah, and just noting here, GM still trading to the downside. It actually, remember we were talking about this a little bit earlier on, trying to test that 30 break if Nikola continued its move. That did not happen, obviously, and you can see almost $1 off of that right now. So it continues to be under pressure. Obviously, one of the things you'll see is it's not bouncing as far up as Nikola does when it catches a bid. And I think that's the squeeze play here. Obviously, Nikola is going to be a little bit more shorted than GM. It goes without saying. That's why you'll see more parabolic and stronger moves to the upside, while GM is sliding sideways here. So I feel like the short play almost should be in GM in that case. Speaking of short plays, another one which again is down. I want to cover some things that are moving that maybe haven't touched a trade in yet. GameStop and down another 10% here. Really almost no pullback, and the volume's decent at 3 million, but it is short sale restricted. It's starting to get to some interesting levels here. Watch out for this 830 level on GameStop. I'm sort of anticipating with previous resistance turning into support on a bit of a pullback last week's action. If it can hold 830, this does feel like a good little spot here. We could try a bit of a bounce along in front of that level. It will support a couple of times going into last week. Pennies away from that right now, so GameStop under pressure once again.
What about 27.75 on Nikola? NKLA here, watching that one and watching. I mean, our Tesla keeps going like $1, $2 in the money, out of the money, back and forth and around. Okay, yeah, what I was looking at right here was 27.25, which was right here, this little breaking spot. Let's go short if we can get into that range now. It looks like Neil just mentioned there, locked up his Twitter account now, it looks like. Trevor Milton, which is the former CEO and the man that came up with all this Nikola idea. And I did see something in the chat here that I did want to shout out. I do believe this is probably a good idea. He said Nikola is, and again, I don't want to take credit for it because it's in here somewhere. Yeah, I remember that Callaway Jones when that tried to end your career, Luckin, for sure. But someone said Nikola is more of a business. Here it is here. Bill Fontaine, I want to give this a shout out. I think you're probably close with some ideas like this. Maybe a business plan, not a real company yet. So maybe we have to wait. The idea could be there with Nikola, but I don't think Trevor Milton was the guy for the execution of that plan. So I definitely want to bring that up. Thank you. Very good point. Never actually thought about that there still is some juice behind Nikola, but it definitely needs new leadership, to say the least. Tesla, man, you're still $1 in the money. Now you're going down to $2 in the money. I don't know where to get out of that one, but I do know that we are ready to rock and roll with Brendan and Money Talks. Let's check out these currencies today, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll go to currency land here. As I mentioned, big move up in the US dollar today. So strength coming in. US dollar index over here. You can see we went from 92.80 up to about 93.5. So top end of the range is a 10-minute chart. So going out a few days of price action here back through last week. 93.5 to 93 kind of 75. Top end of the range for the US dollar index. So big time relative strength coming in. That means a lot of these going to be in negative territory. The euro 0.8% to the downside so far today. Our Canadian dollar here back to 75.2, 0.6% to the downside. British pounds down a full percent. We have the Swiss franc was positive early on. You can see it's trying to go negative there. Swiss franc still positive. Bit of a volatility play. These two, as we like to talk about. Look at Australia and New Zealand. More than a full percent to the downside for both today. And Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general, 336 for Ethereum. It's down 11% so far. Bitcoin as well, not faring much better. 10,400 area once again for Bitcoin, down better part of 4% on the day. Back over to Neil.
Thank you very much, Brennan. I just want to update you guys. INO continues to slide here, now retesting that 1730 area. So we did take the second third of this position out for a dollar winner. Now just hanging on for the test of the opening range low here. That was 1650. I'll get out in front of that, of course. That's going to be the way I like to trade it. In front of that little high, we waited for it to roll over. Again, I lost on my initial short in this stock, and then we took it one more time on consolidation. So thankfully, we're going to make that money back and then some. On INO, we are still short in AAL as well. This one, of course, again, was in the travel space. We mentioned the watch list, of course, the bad numbers coming out of COVID-related, coming out of Europe. In addition to that, no stimulus package yet. So the airline's looking for that, and AAL was a 1265 break on the 15-minute chart. You go back in the last couple of weeks for that level. Still hanging on to some here. It did bounce off of 12, so that's what I was looking for. I wanted to see if it could break 12 even for the last of our position. Now that it's bounced off 12, I will go with a trail, just probably until this. Look, it broke down here on a secondary move at 35, so I'm going to give it to that price. So it's going to be pretty binary. Either we can make a retest of 12 even. At that point, I'll make another decision. Or 35 and a trail out stop to lock in some profit on that name, guys. So nice little trade here in American Airlines. But Kodak, on the other hand, it feels like when all these shorts come in and you can't win on Kodak, what's going on in the world. So we've taken a few shots at Kodak, one mixed long trade, one monster short trade, and then it's kind of a small tight stop short. I said I would give it a little bit less room than the first trade. We'll see what happens. Kodak, it still has this level up here, the failed break at 1060, which could cause a squeeze through that price. So I'm going to be very, very cautious with any future shorts in Kodak. Don't want to throw away the money you make on a move like this off the open.
And that's a very, very valid point. Not want to throw money away. What I am doing, though, is throwing apparently money away here on Tesla because we go short again, and now we're going to wait for 428 to break. When it does, we'll be out of that one. And yeah, the negative stock for me today is only this one, and it looks like it will continue here. Tried to short pops, like we said here on Tesla, and now, unfortunately, it's going to break this little high here. And look, this is a very, very kind of easy out up here, and I may wind up regretting this. Probably should give it up to 434, but just the reads have not been right on Tesla for me so far today. So watch it breaking through 428 just to make sure that that's where my price is. So yeah, 428 breaking through on Tesla. We'll be out of that one. Doesn't look like it's going to be a good trade, but here goes Tesla through 428 right now. CCL, it's the other name that we got short, Neil.
Yeah, and look, the long that I have on, you can see GameStop here holding, at least for now, this current bottom. It's going to show you 838 here. That's actually not the level that I'm long in front of. Just to go back here and show you guys on the 15-minute. You go into last week. This is the level I like here, 830. A bit of resistance on the 8th, and then you come back and double bottom going into the middle of last week. So that's what I'm long in front of. Let's see if we can't get a nice little move to the upside. If it breaks 850, I'll use that momentum to take some out. Always going to be some stops. I mean, put yourself in the mind of a short seller. Maybe you're short in a 9-even break. Maybe like me, you'd be putting a trailing stop through 850. I think that can be some momentum. Once that breaks, I'll get out on the north side of that for a third. Look to see if I can take some off every 25 cents. Hopefully on a bit of a pullback here in GameStop. Again, not an endorsement of the company. Just like this level that we found. We went to the higher time frame. Breaks the bottom. We get out of it. Bingo, bango, no problem. Want to jump over to that penny stock just to update you on ONTX. It does continue its slide. So like I said, if it breaks that 36 area, I would take a few more shares out like I have here. Still holding on to about like 35% of the position just to see if we can get a little bit more of a flush on the way down to the previous close. So you look at this stock. Nice little rounded bottom, went parabolic last week. Now it's starting to pull back in. It has a history of slow, lingering pullbacks every single time it has a move like this. And on a higher time frame, it is this 32 area that I'm looking for. And again, this is where we closed on Friday, guys. So there was a lot of chop between like 28 and 35. The middle of that is 32 where it closed. That's why it's going to be my target. So what that short, still INO short, AAL also short, GameStop bouncing off the bottom here with the long.
Yeah, and I have no idea what's going on here at Tesla. We're still working that. We did get out of some CCL there for 40 cents winner. CCL has been a big one for us. We're going to look for some more. I want to talk about Uber when we get... Oh, man, I didn't put this trade on, and I don't know why. If you guys reverse it, again, I told you, Nicola, 27.25 was a great short. Boo, missed it, guys. What's up, Brandon?
Workhorse, guys. We talked about strength in Workhorse all last week, even a week and a half of basically straight upside action here. Just came into 28, which was top end of the range from last week before it broke on Friday. So a nice look here for Workhorse bouncing off of 28. Still down, 4% on the day, but big time volume on Workhorse today.
Yeah, Roku was unbelievable here. 188 top. It looks like it's testing again. How many times is this going to attempt to roll over and fail? And this is why I'm not digging into another short of this. It does feel like there's a bigger move that could come in, but I feel like I was already successful taking a shot once. Thankfully, I did get out of this one before it broke into a losing trade for me on the short. And it feels like there's going to be another shot at it. I think it's probably that 184 mark. This is where I got into my second position. This is where I got trailed out and it went parabolic again. So 184 does look like a possible breakdown price where you can take another crack at this one. Profit takers might be all over it. I haven't traded Tesla, and I say yet because it feels like it's going to be hard to stay away from it. If it gets back to 438, which was that breakdown price I was looking for, it's going to be hard for me not to put the pink shorts on and jump into that trade to the south side here, guys. So maybe adding that one to the list. Still a few dollars away from it, $10 away to be particular about it, but I might take a shot at this one if it shows me 438 and I get a shot to short it.
Yeah, we again, Tesla just goes upside there, and we get out at that 428 level. We talked about that was probably going to be a little bit of a easy out, and it was 428 came through, so we lost again, but it wasn't a big trade because again, we haven't had a great read on Tesla, so in and out there, and now we'll have to wait. But yeah, bad read on Tesla once again. It's the only negative stock we have today, so hopefully you guys are trading everything but that for me. So now if you break down through Tesla, I don't really have any ideas about the next kind of levels, but a 426 break back downside here when you get through all of this may be something. So 425 or 426. Valeria, we haven't seen enough of her today, but she's ready to rock and roll with the European update. It's pretty nasty over there, V.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe is in a very negative territory today. Britain is down 3.68%. France is down 3.89%. Italy is down 3.65%. And Germany is down 4.45%. Germany's United Internet fell around 24% after lowering its outlook. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
Yeah, I'm going to show you one that is going to be ugly. I've got a few losing stocks on today. I mean, we've won an AL. GameStop remains to be seen. JPM, Kodak. There's a long list of stocks that have been good. NTN's one of my down stocks. Nikola and Player, the other two. This one's ugly. I got to be honest with you. Look, the structure's fine. I don't mind the fact that I take the shot at the rollover. It's right at the open. I do wait for the open to get some more shares when it fails through the pre-market high. And then I get stopped out at my top. That's fair enough. I get an accidental long, get out of it flat. The problem here is when you go to the higher time frame, and I think this might have got mentioned previously. The $3 level was a bit of one. It fails to get anywhere close to it before turning right around at 280, even a double top. On the way back in, when it retakes this level, probably should be re-entering it, probably should be taking it when it breaks down through this support at 35 that it couldn't chew through before. So yeah, you can have a read, you can have an idea that a stock is retracing. If you can't execute it and find your way around a trading plan, it'll end up negative. Now, this is a setup usually I'll have. It's one that I didn't today for the win, but I just need to jump back into it at times. Always revisit stocks when you have key levels that you're working with. Don't get too far away from them. Over trading other symbols is probably what is a culprit in this case. There's so much to look at today. It's going to happen to you, but this is why I lost an NTN despite having the direction right.
I can't believe that I gave this call to you guys on Nikola 27.25 right here and then didn't take it. Let's put a line right there. I hope you guys took it there. I don't know what we were doing. We're looking at Tesla a little too much there and not trading trades that we've won on. So that was a big mistake. Now it's coming back to VWAP here again. There's just too many stories right now about Tesla, Nikola, all these environments. You see NEO up as well, while down 10% today. So there's too much about it here to trade Nikola right now. So I think we're going to be off of that. I don't need to get into the trade. We've already made money on Nikola today. What's up, Brendan?
Another one moving, guys. ACRX. We mentioned this one a couple of days last week. You can see very strong end to the week on ACRX. Just took it that high right there. 175 on a big volume spike, up 13% today, guys.
Wowzers.
Here goes Apple maybe as well. We'll take a little bit of a trade here on Apple if we can get it. We'll go long right now. Average into this trade just a little bit here. Give it back to the downside of about 105 and change. Low side 105.16, 105.17. Long right now 60s. It pops right to 77, 78. Wow, that was easy. Line them up, put them out right now for a quick little 25-cent scalp here on Apple. But we are waiting to get longer. So let's see a high. Oh wow, good little move up here. 105.80. Good move here. 20-30 cents on Apple quickly.
Yeah, and we'll be happy about this one, guys. We'll go Superman because INO, we did have a first misstep shorting this one. The second short, fantastic. Like I said, we do get $1 in the second third. We'll lock in 50 pennies on the retracement. It does come back to that 1780 mark, so I'll get trailed out of this one and have no issues with it whatsoever in INO. So successful trade here. Like I said about NTN, I didn't stick with that one and get back to it on a re-entry trade. INO I did, so if you see that, if I do it both times, I have a couple of wins instead of just one, so you got to trade your setups that work for you. That's one that should have been on that board for us there. GameStop is retesting that little low, but it's that 830 that I'm looking at on the higher time frame as opposed to the 838 bottom, so you will probably see it take out this low here, and I won't exactly get out. give it a little bit more room. I know it's only like an extra 10 cents or so, but it matters when I'm looking at the level from last week on the daily chart. Guys, I want to remind you we have something new coming up in 1 week, September 28th. Right after the show, 12:30, we're doing our first members-only Q&A session. Get it locked and loaded. Put it in your calendar. You'll get a notification, of course, if you're members, obviously. But jump into it. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. All three of us will be there answering questions for an hour and a half, guys. So first time ever members-only Q&A. Check that one out when it comes in exactly 1 week's time.
Okay, Tesla, wow, big mover to the upside now, 433, 432. So again, good thing we dropped our shorts there as it's coming back to the upside right here, trying to get into this VWAP spot. If we can do that, then we'll like that a little bit better. Apple, of course, big win right there. We just run in that money a little bit. Apple positive stock for us today, a big one. Apple, AMD, and CCL all positive. Tesla, the only problem for us today, but here we go. Apple, nice little win as we take advantage of some of these wicks. We told you it's bouncing around a lot, so you got to take advantage when you get this win, especially in 1 minute. You can take 40 cents. We'll take that right there on Apple. Oracle, looking like it's moving around just a little bit here as we continue to check out what's going on with that. 6180, 6190 right here on Oracle. So, yeah. That 6180, 6190, that's the high.
I got to jump in here, and it's not to cut you off, but it's getting close enough to lunchtime, people, that I feel like we need to get a bit of an update. If you guys are liking things, of course, we have lots of good trades. We've seen the super chats. We appreciate it all. I'm hoping, Valeria, I'm going to put you on the spot here to see where we are for the likes. I want to see a moonwalk across that little screen. Yeah. So how are we doing in that department?
Yeah, Neil, so we need traders' support as never because our daily goal is 2,000 likes and we need 900 more. So guys, please show us some love and click the like button if you haven't yet.
Come on, guys. If you do it, I'm going to do it anyways, guys. 438 looks like it's coming in Tesla, so I'll stand in front of a freight train. You're gonna hit the like or not. I'm gonna jump in front of this. It was a level I was looking at for the breakdown. It's starting to go a little bit bonkers here, up $30 or so. I'll take the first shot here, probably at 435. I'm gonna have to give this one obviously some room here. I'll leave myself open to some multiple entry points. It's 438 that was that level. I'm really hoping that the previous resistance support turns into resistance here. We'll give it a few dollars, but Tesla, wow, what a recovery going into battery day. Brennan, what do you got?
My daily chart not loading yet, but SPAC, like the actual SPAC, moving to the downside here today as well. It was down more than 4% at one point, but looking like we might want to roll over here once again. Watch 16 was support on huge volume. We're saying we got down to 16, big time volume came in. So we'll see what happens on a retest, guys, for SPAC.
And all of these stocks today are getting spacked up, I think it looks like here. AMD right here, bouncing back to the high side. We have done really well on AMD, so let's go back to the well. We are right at this VWAP spot on AMD, so this is a possible little short. What is this level? 75, 55? As I keep looking at different screens as well around us, it's just really a matter of what do you think of the ES at these levels? I mean, if the NASDAQ's going to continue to blow up to the downside, then all of these names will continue to be short, but a nice little move back, 32.20 back to 32.33. We'll check in on the NASDAQ quickly just to see if that's doing anything. That's NQ on that side. Nice little move up for NQ as well. Some spots. We saw a long ways to go. Not really a long ways to go. 80 or so handles back to the upside if we get positive on the day. That won't put us positive up here, just on this action. So yeah, we're watching out for the NQ here. See if that can still go. CCL, we're out. We're flat on everything right now, guys. Just waiting for AMD and waiting for, there we go. Now we're into some Tesla. Same kind of level, man, using 438 as possibly a drop spot there on the way up. But right now, Tesla short 436.50. We're back in this game, baby. Let's see if we can't cash back down into this area, 428 again.
Yeah, I'm using that same level. It is what it is, but at least a long is working. The market's bouncing back to the upside, as you can see. So we lined this one up and knocked it out. Sometimes you go to the higher time frame. GameStop wasn't even on my radar necessarily, but once I saw it on my quote board, and again, I like to leave things from the watch list on my board for at least a few days while they're in play. GameStop down another 10%. Finds the bottom here, but also going to this higher time frame and seeing this sort of 830 level have a little bit of significance, and this is a look here. So I did just get some out on the north side of 850 for a quick little 20-cent type scalp. Well, let's see if we can't get a little bit more on the way back up to $9 if it does want to try to fill in at least some of this gap. I'm going to use that low of the day. as my out. Not to lower the day, apologies. That 830 level, which is slightly lower than the lower of the day, is my out. I'm not going to move it. If it breaks the bottom, no mas. I'll be all done with this long in GameStop. Otherwise, let's see if we can't retrace back up to at least $9. Next leg, 875. I'll take some profit there as well.
Looks like we're probably going to get long here, Nicola, in a matter of time. There it is. So now we go long Nicola here. 27.05 here. Long Nicola. Let's just see it breaks through 27. That's a little spot there. We're going to give it back to VWAP here. 25.60, but a nice little win right now. 25.30 pennies here upside. Let's get out if we can. Like I said, there's a little bit too much news and noise around Nicola here. But again, we'll take 40 cents, man. It's a 40-cent win here on Nicola, making moves to the upside. Let's get out around here, 27.40 if we can, and then see if any of these rumors about arrests, about anything are true. But right now, nice little winner here for Nicola, 30 pennies in the money.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. Look, it's going to be a hot name to trade. You got to stick with it if you ever read it. Actually, I'm negative on it. So, look, we asked for the likes. We got them. There's the moonwalk action at 1,500. You can't count to 2,000 without hitting 1,500 first. At least that's what I learned in school, apparently. So we'll go with another name that Brendan gave you guys here this morning. And it's not just about the watch list. Watch out, because Brendan comes with these names. He's got the icon terminal right there, and he gets these volume spikes. And the double top on VVPR went parabolic. Look at it pull back in to the original pre-market breakout price at 960. Now, sometimes what you'll see happen on some of these names is there's a secondary push to the upside. And the way that it usually happens is you find some support. Unfortunately, nothing here on the daily chart for you to see. However, if you go out on a 15-minute, you kind of see this 950 stand out, going back over to like the 8th and 9th. Bit of a hold, bit of a breakdown at that price. So if there is going to be a bounce, 950 looks pretty good to me. If it can hold that, could be a secondary push in the afternoon. Tesla short. Working. I want my pink shorts. Brendan, what do you got?
Another one we talked about early on this morning, plug power, guys, just popping back up here on a volume scanner, right back to this level, which was support early on. Obviously down significantly on the day, but we're retesting the support here for plug. Still decently strong on the daily time frame, but coming back into decent support levels, guys.
Plug. Everything plug. Just going to go quickly, and again, this is sort of the look that I was giving off Tesla a little bit earlier, that 438 area. If we can hold this, I already took a bit of a scalp trade out, so look, sorry, I'm supposed to hit this when we do this, right? Got to give you the yeehaw action. We come from Brendan into the first leg. Every time I trade Tesla, the first short is always going to be a little bit of a scalp, so we take $3 out of it here. The next level, if it can break 430, that'll give a $5 win, and from there, if you can't figure out what this, and again, I'm not making this one up here, guys. This is on 1 minute. 420 would be the next leg to the downside. Let's see if we can't take $15 out of it on the final third. So those are my targets with a 38 stop. If I'm going to be risking about $3 on the trade, which is where I got in, then that's the first leg of the scalp. That's just the way I work the structure of the trade. I ain't saying it's right. It's just what I do here, guys. 431 about to break right now. So about to get that $5 winner on Tesla, and then you know what happens after that. I want that 420 mark, guys, right around lunchtime, oddly enough.
Yeah, we're gonna take that out as well. We have a $6 win. Short right now, 36.40, but have not taken anything out. So we'll get out ahead of 430 hopefully as well, and then watch out below. Obviously, Neil and I targeting similar areas to the downside, but to make your own targets up for that. We'll see what happens. Downside move now. Hopefully continuing here on Tesla. We taken ahead of that VWAP, so that was a decent trade for that. But here it comes now. See if we can get filled. We're on the bid now. Knowing my luck, it'll probably bounce right off me. 430.50 we were just at, and what a surprise, that's exactly where it bounced. 430.60. So I was 10 cents away from a $6 win. We'll wait. Hopefully that comes back downside, and we will take that. Here it comes. Let's come crashing down. Don't stop this time, Tesla. Let's see if you... okay, let's see if you can give us that $6 here. We are short at 436.40. Right there, bang, there it is. Nice little win there. Money. As Neil and I both have Tesla. Nice win. You can see some of my losses are scalps. We're still negative on the stock. Let's not get that twisted. But we are looking to get it downside here. 424 and change. Could be a good spot for us on Tesla. Nikola, we did take some out for profit. Our best out is 22. We took some out for flat. Now we're going to give it back to this VWAP, but right now, Nikola, Nikola. Two electric car companies right now. Short Tesla, long Nikola. That doesn't seem to make much sense. What's up, Brad?
Still looking for a catalyst here, but Organigram, guys, little cannabis connection here, Canadian content, almost 9%. There it is, 9.6%, 125 just hit. Look at the volume coming into OGI right now, guys.
Go figure, OGI running right around lunchtime, guys. There's a great, Roki one, this is a great question here. We got thank you for the super chat, first of all. Do you eventually memorize key levels? Now, I have a few resources here. I do like, there's a new feature on Google, which I think is pretty cool. And it's like a little little list you can put up, like it's a keep thing. I put some levels there. I've got an iPad here as well. So occasionally I'll draw a line in a chart, but for the most part, the ones that you really like, you do this enough every single day, putting down your key levels, going over some stocks, and you will remember some of them off the top of your head, but you do want to make sure you're reinforcing that some way. I don't care if you use a sticky note, or I know Sean uses like sticky notes. I've seen traders put them up all the time, draw lines on the chart. If you got a level you're using, make sure you have some way of remembering it. Stop orders can work as well, of course, to actually execute those trades. Getting over to Organigram here, first things first. When Brendan comes with a parabolic mover, you want to make sure around this time of day, is it doing volume? Answer equals yes. Big spike up, both in volume and up 10% now. So I want to go to see what's going on in the daily chart. Look, this has obviously made a bit of a double bottom. You go back to May, it's breaking out from there. And then you watch this $1.33, $1.35 level to the upside. Seems like an obvious turnaround point to me. That's where resistance is going to be. Roki one, I hope that answers your question there. Nobody is, the only machine I know was Arun. He probably does memorize his, to be perfectly honest with you. But everyone else has to find ways to reinforce it. I'm watching Organigram 135. That'd be the level. Tesla needs to break 430, and then we'll get that 420 mark. I know I'm rooting for it here on the short side. Nothing against Elon, all love, buddy. But short trade here in front of that 438.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to watch Tesla hopefully continue its movement to the downside. And there it is, a nice little break. $7 now in the money on Tesla. So thank God we're bringing that stock back to life just a little bit. I did want to say a big shout out. I know Valeria shouted you out, but thank you so much, Dawn Bouquet and Dream Homes there. Thank you so much for that, becoming a member. I hope you're enjoying the show, as many of our viewers often do. We do have coming up, of course, on the show right now at 11:55. Is he or is he not? This is the largest trade, though. The biggest loser. We don't like this picture for that reason. Little misleading there. A little misleading, but it's Neil's biggest losing trade ever. We just like the title there. I'll be coming on with one later. It's a funny picture. We're making fun of it here in the background, but definitely click that as we'll go coming off, and we'll take that off right now. But Neil, right now, we're into some trades.
I'm unhappy in that picture because I was hungry when it got taken. You know,
or maybe it was salmon day.
I get hangry at times if I don't get my lunch on time, guys. And I'll continue to have fun with that because I don't understand why. And for anyone that wasn't watching your guest segment, why would you ever tell me that you guys play a game involving a word that I say? You might want to change it at this point because lunchy lunch, 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 lunch. Let's eat Tesla's lunch here. Look, I talked about this level here, 438. I didn't really have anything else. I wrote down 438 as a possible hold. Once that broke and it didn't even come close, that's a rollover on a pullback. It's a trade I'm going to put on. It's now rolling in the money for me, $8, and I'm looking to get out in front of 420 here at Tesla. If we can bag a $15 win in the final third, I'll take that all day, every day. I'm not moving my stop. 438 is going to be the stop here, so I'm willing to risk a couple of bucks on the final third of this position, just the way I'm going to play it here. GameStop, actually a long that's working, believe it or not. So we can go long in something and make money today. It is leveling off a little bit, but this is just a bottom pick. You find a level that works for you. 830 was the one I found in my 15-minute chart looking at the last couple of weeks. So I like that one. It needs to break up to 875 for me to take more shares off and then just up at VWAP. These are kind of arbitrary levels to the upside. When you're scalping, that's the way I like to do it. If you get good enough, and this is why I'm saying I get out some in front, on the 850 break, some around 875, some at VWAP at 9 even, because in this particular setup, I haven't had this trade refined well enough to know exactly where it's going to go. So until that happens, I try to get out on the way up. No one ever went broke taking profits. You get better at it, you get more efficient, then you can start picking where the top of that move is going to be with better success. For me, on this long type of trade, I'm not pretending to be perfect on it, guys, so taking that profit on the way up.
431, we're going to get out of Tesla here if it does go upside. 431, I don't know. 51 or so. We'll see if we can get out of some Tesla out of it if it does go back upside. We just did enjoy that little move down, and we got to pay ourselves off a little bit, like we always talk here on the show. You got to make sure that you put some profit there in the bank, and we did that at 430, and now it looks like we'll get out of the rest at 431, capturing that full $5. It's just it hasn't been a great stock, so although I'm with Neil all the way back here to 438, that was the initial plan. I just want to make sure that we can put something in there just in case this thing does continue to fall down. We'll hold it, but we'll get out, and then we'll see if we can reload up here. If we can't, we can't, and then we'll watch Tesla just continue to fall back down. But right now, we'll take some profit out, make sure we put that $5 in our pipe, and continue to smoke that. Okay, Apple as well. We keep scalping it, getting in, getting out. Nice ins, nice outs here on Apple. Short there and out. So everything's been working for us here on this name as well as AMD. So we'll continue to look over there. Nikola, we've gotten in, we got out. I got out again in the 70s. We're trying to just give this back down to VWAP. It looks like it will break, and we'll get out through 2670 on this name. But other than that, one name that we wanted to look at again here was NEO, back down to that $18 level. And again, you know, it seems like we're itching to get into trades. It's just there's a lot to trade right now, so we want to make sure that we give you a lot of the names. So at least if you're following along, hopefully we'll hit up some of the names that you guys are trading with, especially DraftKings. Wow, down 8%. Give it to us, Brendan.
Just watching this Cubic Corporation, CUB in New York, up 25%. Having trouble with 56 right now, but watch CUB, guys. Elliott Management apparently eyeing this one on a possible takeout. So big move up on that news today for CUB, guys.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. I'm still actually looking at, of course, at OGI. We did talk about that one as well, Organogram. I was looking at 135 level. If it inches up there, then I'll be interested. If it can't get there, I'm not going to touch it. And much like I'm not touching Kodak right now. So when it goes sideways in the afternoon, at lunchtime or around here, I tend to stay away. Sometimes Kodak will put in a big squeeze to the upside in the afternoon. So I'm still looking at this 1065, 1070 area. But are we celebrating something over there with the dancing Neil across the screen, Sean? Or I don't even know if he hit it. But either way, I want to jump back over to Tesla because it feels like the bulls are coming back. I'm giving it all the way back to this 438. So it's going to have to break the top and break my level for me to take the last third off here. So I am willing to risk a bit of a hit on the last little bit. It did hold at 427, so I could have taken almost a $10 win in the last little third. But I want to see if it rolls further. There's a lot of strength going into battery day here, but 438 is the level I want. 438 is the level it has to break.
Yeah, it's not that it's perfect, but we'll hit Street Fighter there. Look where we got out. We told you 431, able to take that clean $5 on that one. Now we go short again. So I had no idea that move just happened, Neil. So thanks for bringing that up to our attention. And we'll do exactly what we said we'd do. We will rinse and repeat. So we go short again right here ahead of that 438 number. Let's just see what happens. We're short 436.15, yuck. Could have got a lot better than that, but we'll see. That was a big move to the upside there, so we got to watch out. Again, Neil, the problem with the problem with battery day is he could, and what I mean by that is Elon Musk could just come out and tweet anything at any time right now about battery day. So you got to watch out for the top side. But we hold now. We don't hold, we get back in. So we try to do what we said we'd do. Let's see if we get another $6 to the downside. I don't know. Still using that number as an out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you said a really good point there. Obviously, we have an advantage. Well, everyone watching on the stream right now has an advantage of Brendan giving us live news. But just make sure you keep your ear to the ground so we know. Look, if a tweet comes out or something related to battery day, the same way anything could materialize for Nikola or any of these stocks in play, I mean, Kodak with the contract, you want to make sure you're not trading blind if you're going to be an active trader. Even if you're swing trading, I think it's going to matter to a lot of you when there's big time news that comes across the wire. If you're much longer time frame or like a Rune sometimes with his plays, you might not care too much because it's all about price action. But for any of us that care about these actionable news events, want to make sure you got a source. Speaking of ours, Brendan, what do you got?
Just looking at a little headline here from GE. We mentioned during the Sector Watch, guys, 9%, or it was at the time, 9% for GE. Now 8.3%. They said today they're going to stop making coal-fired electricity and coal-fired products from electricity. So GE down on that news, guys.
Yeah. Coal fire, eh? Okay. Tesla coming right back upside again. It did go $1 into the money for us off this short. But yeah, GE, we will check that out in a couple minutes. I forget what I wanted to look at right now. Oh, that's what it was. NFLX. The Netflix and chill continues to go upside because, again, of the increase in COVID right now. Obviously, I believe that if this gets locked down again, I have a feeling that everyone's going to be locked down very soon, one more time. So, unfortunately, the numbers are getting out of control here, especially not just here in Canada. I mean, we're okay. We had 400 or so yesterday in Ontario, which is back to highs. But I just feel like lockdown may be coming again. So we'll see here. Netflix making moves back down. Just too choppy. Would rather see it through there. Oh, it was JP Morgan and So I want to talk about Netflix quickly because I think there's a play there. But JP Morgan, Neil, you had that early, I know, and we haven't really traded it since. But JP Morgan, wow, making moves to the downside. We're now near days low. We are actually at days low right now. Forget about the pre-market. Since we've been open right here, this has been the low, 94.98. So, yikes, watch out below.
All right, guys, I'm going to hit
goes
this
Tesla.
I've been avoiding hitting this one, guys, so I'm going to hit it for you. Whoops, there we go. How do you avoid having your biggest loser ever? Don't be stubborn. And JP Morgan is going to be one. We're dropping that video today on our Market Wisdom page. It's talking about my biggest loser, which was, you know, it was one of the dumber things I've ever done as a trader. So you should definitely pay attention to it because the reason why is the reason I did that,
Tesla.
picked it. But JP Morgan, I got out with a trailing stop when it could not take this double top here. If I had had a short bias, which I did not, in JP, I would have looked at that for a rollover trade. But because I did come in bullish for the name, looking for a 95 break, I'm going to be up on the stock. As you can see, I did get some profits. But it's that bias that keeps me away from what would have been a fantastic short. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but that can be the downside of having a bias. But the upside of having a stop is I could be sitting here stubbornly out of the money a couple of dollars if I was like, I'm just going to give it to the low of the day, no matter what. Then I'd be struggling on JP Morgan. There goes Tesla again.
Yeah, here goes Tesla again. Yeah,
give me 420.
Yeah, we reloaded. Beautiful reload up there at the top. So, again, you know, we reloaded there right at VWAP, back-to-back jacks right now. So let's wait to see if this market does want to continue to fall down. Tesla, obviously, we don't have to talk about price-earnings ratios or any of that. You guys all know what's up with Tesla. If anybody's going to take some money off the table, it may be in this name today, but there is that catalyst. Look, if Battery Day wasn't here tomorrow, I don't know how far this stock would be down. So you got to be very, very careful with that slippery slope. I would love to get this thing back to 422. We could take a $15 winner if that's possible. We'll put some bids down here. That's just where some bunched up little actions happened on Tesla, guys. So bang, a nice little $5 win now on Tesla. We just took it, man. We just took 1, 2. That's $7. That's $5 back to 5. So 7 plus 5 is 12 plus another 5. Now it's not 5. Now it's 3. But yeah, we're adding up the wins before we even take them. That's not a good sign. Let's just hopefully this thing can come back down and we'll get out here. This bottom 426 would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, coming from Brendan here, looks like Trevor Milton, according to some sources, has not been arrested. Obviously, look at the price action in the stock, guys. If he had been, I think there would be a little bit more action, and this is why you're seeing here a bit of muted trade. So always make sure you got a good source. We're fortunate, obviously, anyone that's watching here, Brendan has the resources and the skills to get us the pertinent news that we need. Still watching this NNOX because I thought the 30 break would be a little bit more significant than this. Holding 29.50, it is short sell restricted. It's just going only sideways on dying volume. So this is why I'm probably not going to be trading this one today. I thought there might be something here, but when it did take out that 30 level the first time, not a heck of a lot happened. Couldn't sustain an offer below it. And this is the thing, when you take these level breaks, when you have a spread of like 10, 15 cents, you're looking at a 30 level break, you actually want to see someone offer below 30. Like the bid can drop down to like 29.75, but if no one actually offers below that price, it just opens a spread up. That means there's no sellers on the break. So you need to see people offering below. That's a nice little sign of weakness. When you don't get it, you stay away from it. Otherwise, you can get yourself into some trouble. Tesla, again, wants to test that 430. I'm still hanging on to mine. Again, it's the last little third of this trade.
Yeah, that's really too bad that we gave Tesla that room and then doesn't want to go. We do have a guest trader of the day coming through very soon with the same name as one of us. You're going to be able to guess that coming very, very soon. You'll be able to see, put your guesses in here, whose name you think he's going to have the same as mine, Neil's, or Brendan's, or Valeria's. Probably not Valeria. Okay, Tesla making moves back to the upside. We don't want to let 430 drop again. We may just get out if it comes back down to 430. However, I'm trying to hit that home run into the 20s. Let's go, Brendan.
It's actually not the same, Sean, not to correct you, but it's Very, very similar, but we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one for now. XOM, guys, crude oil down about 5% on the session. We haven't talked about any of the energy group, but XOM 3.6%. Just tested day lows there, but catching a bit of a bounce, guys.
Oh, Brendan. Yeah, XOM. Look, obviously with the recovery in question, we talked about the travel space, so you can't get too far away from energy as well, which would be, as you would expect, under some pressure. I do want to get you guys back to my long position in GameStop very quickly here, just to show you guys. I mean, you guys like seeing level 2, so I'll show you what's in my favor, at least temporarily here. There was a buyer, a couple of levels here, one at 65 and then one a couple of pennies higher, about 100,000 shares on the bid. It's getting chewed through right now as we speak. I am long here at 840, 842, in front of that 830 level. So I have taken some profit already. I'm looking for a push to 75 and then maybe to 90 or $9 even on GameStop on this bottom pick. But this gets broken, good chance we head back down to the low. I'm still going to give it to that 830 level from last week, guys. That's my stop. It's long in front of that support level, so it has to break it. Much like Tesla has to break 38. GameStop has to break 830 before I'm getting out of this one long.
Yeah, let's get Tesla to the downside there. Yeah, you're going to see pretty soon our guest trader of the day coming through. No doubt about that. And okay, now we get Nikola finally starting to go. It does go as high as 27.40 there or so? No, 27.26. That's where we got out before. So we'll wait on that one. We did take a rough 20-cent hit there. So those two are equal. So now we're trying to let Nikola now run to the upside. 13 pennies in the money. No, we're long at 05, sorry. So 8 pennies in the money there. I keep thinking I'm long at 27. We're long at 27.05 on a break. So now we'll give it to the upside. I still like a long here in Nikola. Let's take a long if it does break through this resistance. It keeps bouncing its head, its ugly head today. Off of 27.30. So if we get a bounce through on Nikola 27.30, I do like that one to the upside here. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but if you do throw it back on this camera to the side, I'd just like to show people, in case it's your perfect, that's fine. Just for the first time here, different charts, different layouts, different stocks. Perfect, guys. Thank you so much. 12 minutes daily chart, NASDAQ 100, Nikola 1, a couple hot lists here, some emails and whatnot, some art on the wall here as well. That's what we're working with. So when we give you some key levels, it's not just off of 1 minute. What you are going to see here, basically all we have is 1, and I keep switching between 1 and 3 and whatnot. Easy to change it in our platform. And then the only technical thing I have on here is volume weighted average price, VWAP there, as well as a little bit of volume just in case we see a spike. So that's what I'm working with on this side, guys.
Yeah, and I'm still looking at this organogram. It's just unfortunately not making a real test to the top. And if you're going to short something like this, you got to have a level, and I like that 135. If it did take out 125, go any higher, that hasn't happened. So no need to rush into a trade. It's only like 30 minutes till noon, guys. This is lunchtime hour. We talk about that. We talk about that algo dominated 3-hour session of the day, middle of the day, that you don't want to get chopped up in. So I'm trying to stay away from it. Nikola's even going sideways here, guys. So you're just not seeing a heck of a lot of action. It's down 20%. There could be a break up or break down trade here, obviously through 26. This was a break to the upside. This was the pre-market high. It's now holding that as support. So that does give you something for the afternoon to look off of for Nikola. To the upside, double top at just shy of 30 even. Inside of that, I don't know if I'm going to be touching that one. I already have a short on here in Tesla. I will get you guys back to that ONTX just to update you. I've been short this literally all morning long. I shorted in the pre-market, reloaded off the open, got a nice win bottom wick here, and then when it retested the pre-market top, I grabbed the short on the way back in. I've been short ever since. I'm still even holding 30% of this. If it either breaks 40 cents, I'm short here at 42, or it gives me the break of 35 to go down to yesterday's close at 32. That'll be a monster win if it does, obviously. But you can see I was aggressively out in front of that 35 in the first place. Brendan, what do you got?
We're talking about some of the oncology names at the end of last week. This one specifically, Cardiff, CRDF, had some news out on Thursday. We had a big move up to 11 on Thursday. Didn't really do much on Friday, bit of a pause, but looks like some follow through coming in today. 20% for Cardiff Oncology, guys.
All right, we're gonna give, we took Nicola out. We're gonna take it out with a big stick here. Just let you guys know, we are trying this Nicola long. If I can find it out on my board. There we go, we'll hit it now. We're gonna try to go Nicola. It tries to get out. We did take a little bit out there, so that's why we're celebrating a little bit on that win. We did take Nicola here, 27, took some out there in the 40s as it's breaking now above 30. Watch out, if it fails through back through 27, then we are out. Too many shares here on Nicola to worry about this, to come back to the downside. We're not going to give that one too much room, but we are out here on Nicola, putting our neck out here, trying this trade through 27.30. We do like it. Tesla, $3-4 now into the money. So a lot of stuff happening. It's going to be a busy one for me in the last 30 minutes. Don't expect that. But Nicola, just trying to get this one back to the upside. Targets, because I have decent amount of shares, would love to get this thing near 28. We can get some out before we have to worry about 28. That'd be fantastic. So 27.80, 27.70, anything in there would be great. But if we do break back down below 27, we're out. So watch out for this, Nicola. It's a little bit of a slippery slope. 30 cents either way here.
Yeah, just looking at this CRDF that Brennan mentioned. Oh, look, it made a top here. You go back to the 17th, 11.20, Brennan would have said. But anytime it fails shy of that, you look at this 11 even, then putting some consolidation lower. This gives you a range here. Obviously, it's failed to try to make a fresh high. That gives you a bit of a pullback feel to it. I can take a short here once I can actually get some locates. Make sure it's a reasonable price. If it's going to be like a 10.50 area short that you give to 11, first leg down in front of 10, you're looking 50 cents worth of profit. And then from there, probably looking at like a 9.50 for like a dollar type win. So I wouldn't pay 50 cents a share. That wouldn't make any sense, risk to reward. As long as it's reasonable, I would be jumping into this one in front of that 10.50, never letting it go past that 11 even, guys. So that's going to be the look on Cardiff or CRDF. Tesla here, again, is just actually holding this range, which not necessarily a bad thing. Not necessarily a great thing either. As long as it holds its consolidation, I have really nothing to do. I got my 438 stop. I've already taken the scalp trade off of this one for $5 and then $8. Now, sorry, for $3 and then $5. Now we're looking to see if it'll break down past that 28. And again, it's about that 420 level that I'm targeting. If it bounces shy of that, I'll just get out on the way back up. You're not going to sit there and think it's going to go exactly towards your target and get the perfect price. If you think every trade will do that for you, you're kind of in dreamland. So I'm willing to note that if it bounces off that 420, I will just get out when that turns into support if I haven't been tagged out already.
Yeah, exactly. And we're really happy with this one. We have the same trade on. Rinsed it again up here at 36. Back down to 30. I said maybe we'd take this out for a $6 winner, but we're going to try to hold it again to see if we can't get back into this doomsday area down here of 26, 27, 28. That'd be pretty sweet if we can do that. We talked about you, Mr. Trevor Milton, all day. Let's see if Nicola now can get some love back to the upside. We're taking some out. Just took some out at 49 once again there on a big move upside. So everything working out for us with Nicola right now. But it looks like it wants to just keep getting hit. So this is going to be, it'll be roughly a flat trade here. Obviously, we have shares, so we're hoping that this could rip from here. But if it does break back down below 27, at least I can say we took a shot at it and missed. So Nicola right now, we're putting our money here. We're trying to take a shot. We're trying to see if this can turn our day around. Not around, our day is fine, but see if we can't icing on the cake right here up to 28, 27.80 or so would be a very, very great trade for us to Nicola if we can get that. I am layered some orders out there, so let's see if it just starts to rip up. We'll get touched a little bit like you just saw there at 49. Let's put another couple
like
orders.
Cake analogies, man.
What was that?
You're seeing cake, icing on the cake, and then layer for layer cake, and it's like 25 minutes till noon here, and you know it's almost close to lunchtime, guys. So obviously still some trades happening here. I got a couple on, but Brendan's got some news for us as well.
IMMU, guys, if you remember, we talked about this one a few days last week, had a reversal, or a stock split, I'm sorry. If you go back to a couple of weeks back, this thing got all the way up to above $90, but just grinding along day lows here. 85.50 was the level from Friday. Was kind of watching that, but we'll see if we can't get back to 45 anyways. IMMU, Immunomedics, was in the news a couple of days last week. While we are here, it is about that time. It is Monday, just after 11:30. That means guest trader of the day time, guys. We have a brand new guest trader coming on today. It's a busy morning, obviously. Apologies, I'm just going to set a couple of levels here, if you just bear with me. It's a brand new session, guys. Obviously, busy one this morning. Lots to talk about. We can bring on Brandon if you want, guys. I wasn't going to spoil the little joke there that Sean made, but why don't you tell everyone your name, Brandon, seeing as how it's nothing even remotely close to mine.
Right. Well, yeah. How you guys doing? Yeah, my name's Brandon. I'm from Detroit, Michigan area, and yeah, I mean, like, I always, you know, people that somewhat know me and don't know me, they always call me like Brendan. I always get the Brendan. I'm sure
Yes,
Brendan, you get
you.
the Brandon too, you know.
Another one from our team. I'm glad you said that because I get the same thing all the time as well. But great to have you on the show, Brandon. It's been a busy morning. How has yours been so far? Any stocks that you've been looking at that stood out this morning?
Yeah. So honestly, the only thing I've been trading today was NIO, NIO. I was just buying it at the dips and it would just push up, and I just kept scalping it like 2 or 3 times. And
yeah, always one that you can't really get away from because of the volume and amount of trading that happens in it. But NIO, there's Tesla, there's Workhorse today. Let's get back to the markets. Here's Neil.
How's it going, Brandon?
how you doing?
I'll make sure I don't make that mistake, but if I do, it's like a mental slip up because I say Brendan's name all the time, obviously. I want to jump to NIO because you said that you're doing some scalping in this one. So, you know, first things first, we get all kinds of traders here. You see us do scalp trades every now and then. We'll hold a little bit longer, but is that your particular style, or is it just happens to be that NIO set up for a scalp for you?
I don't like. So I only started trading back in March, and then I kind of got like more serious about it and started learning about a lot more in like May. And I've been just trying like a lot of different styles lately. For the past week or two, I just been like scalping trades. I've been just going in with a little more liquidity and then just scalping in. It's just been working out for me. So yeah, that's what I've been doing at the moment.
If there's one thing I say, I try to say over and over again, it's that like you can't know what style of trader you're going to be or what you're going to be best at, right? So if you try something and it works for you, best advice is to stick to it. When it comes to NIO particularly, is it the buy the dip that you were looking for? Obviously, there was a bit of a negative sentiment and some sell-off going on in the EV space. Did you have some levels that you're working off with there, or were you more just looking at price action, maybe even reading the tape a little bit? What's your process for buying the dip? I like key levels, but what's yours?
Yeah, so well, today obviously I noticed the market was, falling off from the beginning. So I just kind of waited about 10, 15 minutes to see, how it would play out. And then once I seen it like hit this bottom at like, it was like 10:30 or something, I bought in around like 10:40 and then sold it at like 10:60 around here. And then it dipped again, and then it like dipped all the way down. So I kind of just waited a little bit, and then I think it got down to like 1766. And then I kind of waited till it got back through 18 right here, and then I bought, and then I sold it again at around 1834, and then it seems like it's just kind of sitting right there at that 1834 level right now. So
you know what I love about the trade, just a little bit of an idea here. You get a stock gets down like that, and when it puts in sort of two big moves in, and the first one to like 1835, oddly enough, where you got out, and then this leg here on volume down to that 1775 area, this is sort of like what looks like a failed break. So anyone that shorts this price is immediately like, uh-oh, did I just short the bottom? So when it tries to go back up to the next level up, which is that 18 area, basically, when you're getting in, you might be looking at some shorts getting stopped, which gives you some juice to the upside. It retraces to VWAP, which is oddly enough that other level of consolidation. So, I mean, I don't know. I want to hit the... I'll hit this one because I like Mortal Kombat. I know Sean's the Street Fighter guy. I'll go Flawless Victory for that scalp trade there. Good look for you there, Brandon. I think Sean's going to like that one. He's the scalp master over there.
Yes, thank you. Good trades today everywhere, especially some of the scalped names. But Nicola right here, we scalp out for a loser there. It does break back down below 27, so we tried it. I still do think they can go higher, so we'll wait on it though. But we got to get out so we don't lose too much. Our day's pretty good considering how bad Tesla was to start. We're actually pretty good right now, and there's not too many other names that I have on the watch right now. Excuse me. Had to refresh my water there. Walmart maybe to the backside right now as well off some of that TikTok news, but they are still fading down. It's nice to see Walmart still positive. Let's check out what Oracle's doing just for some of you viewers as well, not doing a whole hell of a lot. And then our Tesla still continues to bounce around here, just almost touches that 430. I did have an order there to get out again, but I just wonder if 430 breaks, what kind of damage there'll be back to the downside. We may even take a 427 short. We keep on staring these Tesla winners in the face and not taking them here, Neil. So maybe something to do with that. What about JP Morgan? Here goes
That is a
Tesla.
very, very bullish setup right there. Literally staring. Sorry, I have a program monitor, you guys. I don't know if you can see it. You guys can't see it unless we get a camera look that shows to you. You kind of see it, like little screen up here. So I'm looking at Sean's chart. I'm like, man, I got a Tesla chart up too. And I'm like, yeah, it's starting to get to that point where I'm going to get out at that 438, but I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it crazy for a breakout long there. I want to sort of go back to a long that I do have, which is GameStop. Sometimes trades it's very similar to what you were doing there, Brandon, just finding a bit of a bottom. The only difference with GameStop was I actually was looking at a level, if I can quickly just show you the 15-minute here. I was basically going back into last week and showing you this 830 bottom. So parabolic move to the upside that holds on a pullback, that holds as the opening range bottom going into Thursday's trading session, and then makes a test at the top. So when it dip by, all I'm looking for in this situation is, does it turn in front of that low? And once it puts in the hard move down, starts turning, after it makes the turn, I get some shares in. I'm looking to see if I can retrace it basically back to the pre-market low here at 9 even. We're almost there now. I've taken a couple legs out. 875 was the second target, so we already took off that nice little win. And then we can see if we can get the over 50-cent winner over to 9 even. So lots of ways you can approach scalping or buying the dip or bottom picking. As long as you have a structure and a plan that's positive for you when you test it out, then you're good to go here. Just a quick question for you, Brandon. Obviously, we're done at 12 o'clock. The show's done. But the market doesn't stop. Do you trade primarily the open, or do you continue to trade all day long? What's your particular style when it comes to time frame?
Mostly, I trade from the open till about like right now per se. Like, you know, when your guys' show ends, I'm pretty much done for the most part. But I do most of my trading between like 9:35 and then to like 10:30 because I like to wait, you know. I like to like let the market settle, you know, for about 5 minutes, you know, because it can just, you know, stuff can go either way. Super volatile right at the beginning. So I like to, you know, wait at like 5 minutes, like see, you know, set up some trades and then start trading after that. So I don't. Yeah.
You've definitely heard us say that when we go over the watch list from like 9 to 9:30, you'll probably hear it at least 2 or 3 times every single day. There's a multitude of stocks that both Sean and I will say, I don't want this one before 9:30. I want to make sure it settles down. And usually that has a lot to do with volume or the spread on the stock, because the spread opens up. Liquidity can be a concern off of the open, and then you can get some really ridiculous, not ridiculous, but some prices that you might not want to get an execution, and especially with a stop order. I do want to come back to the banking sector just very quickly, because we did talk about this off the open. I actually had a long on JP Morgan at 95, thinking that could be a breakout. That was not the case. It continues to hold this level here just below 94. The market is trying to bounce back to the upside, so this isn't a horrible defense if you stay bullish, but of course we're in a bit of a downtrend. So I'm going to probably take a shot. If it breaks, and this is actually 90, like 93, 80 and change, if it breaks this level down, does not travel very far, and then comes back up, I'm looking for a failed breakdown to get in to JPM. You know, the market's not looking strong enough that I want to necessarily just jump in front of the level. I almost want to see some people shaking out before I get into this trade heading into lunchtime here. I don't know what your thoughts on the banking space there, Sean, but it's going to be hard for me not to take another crack at JPM so far with the flush down 4%.
I love JP Morgan as a long-term investment, that is for sure. But right now, there's just so many headwinds and whatnot, or I guess tailwinds for that headwinds, I guess, for JP Morgan coming through, especially with the banking sector today. Brendan, you had any long-term holdings? You seem like a young guy. Are you just looking to trade? Are you looking to hold anything tight for a little bit of a distance? Just give us 1 second. Let's throw it to Brendan right now.
JKS, guys, talked about it real quick. Jinko Solar here talked about it earlier, just popped up again on volume. So volume coming back in to JKS, now 7% on the day, guys.
Okay, yeah, so back to you, Brendan there. Is there anything long-term? Obviously, those of us that are investing, I always talk about what I'm holding. I like dividend stocks and obviously some of these value tech names like the Microsofts and the Apples of the world, and I don't think anything wrong with sprinkling some on Tesla and some of these crazy names like Chewy and whatnot. Are there any stocks you're looking for long-term? I always like asking the younger generation because maybe there's some ideas we're not thinking about.
Yeah, so a couple of stocks that I'm holding long-term right now. I'm holding Dropbox, and then just because, over this period of, the market pushing up like crazy, it seemed as like it just hasn't, like no one's really noticed it. I don't know if Wall Street like forgot about it or something or what, but I mean, they've been, consistently increasing their revenues and earnings and stuff like that. And I think their new business model is really good as well, and their stock's only like $19 right now.
Okay.
There's that, and then I also recently started looking into Slack Technologies, ticker symbol WORK. That's also a company I'm pretty interested in. And then
just be careful with WORK because they're going up against the big dog here in softies. So you definitely want to watch out with WORK. And remember, they were not coming with a direct market access there with their IPO. It's not traditional. So you got to watch out for WORK a little bit with the direct market listing there. Let's just check out I'll give you a little bit of a long-term spot here on WORK because I do like the name as well. And I'm actually really glad that you brought it up. Look at WORK. If you get above here, this is just sort of, Brendan, where I would add some positions on. You got to get above this kind of garbage right now. If you get above 26.50, let's call it 27 even, then you're into it, especially if you break above this 27.50, maybe a good spot to start to add to your position if you have a decent size one, you have some capital there to go. And the other one you talked about was DBX. Look, Dropbox, I love Dropbox here as a longer term play. The only problem will continue to be with Dropbox, of course, is just the competition there. Google's in that name with a lot of free storage. So is Apple, Amazon worldwide and whatnot. But like you said, they are changing up their game plan a little bit. Dropbox with a lot of room to go here. I actually like this name as well. Good couple picks there, Brendan.
Here comes 438 on Tesla. Look, it's literally, it's touched it basically to the penny one time, which we're playing with fire here, obviously. But when you have an order, if it breaks, I'm just going to be out here. I've been structuring into this trade for the short side, and there it goes right through. Like I said, the last third, I was giving it to break even. I did not trail it. I'm trying to hold that one for a bigger move here. So we're going to be up on Tesla. And I think if you have an idea for structure like this, if you roll the entire amount, thinking you'll just get all of it for $15, hard way to trade in my opinion. Doesn't mean you can't, it just means that I won't. So basically, the next level to the upside for me, and I don't want to wait till 450 to at least be actionably looking at this trade. There was this, if you look at the opening range bottom, which was 443, we talked about that. That's where the move to the downside did start, so might run into some resistance as well there. I mean, going into battery day, look at the volatility that we've seen so far, already dropping like $40 and trying to come all the way back here. Obviously, it's been a fun one for everybody here, but I do want to remind you guys, we only have like 10 minutes to go. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Brandon, because it is what it is. It's an interesting looking picture. We're dropping a video on my biggest loser. It's in our market wisdom page here. This is one of the topics I think is really, really important because you always want to learn from others' mistakes. It's a lot cheaper than learning from your own, in my humble opinion, guys. But for our market wisdom page, Brandon, do you check it out from time to time, find any value in it?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So for most of my learning about like day trading stuff, it's all through you guys for the most part. Like the hour videos that you guys put up, I watch all those, and then I also go on the market wisdom page and watch that as well. And yeah, so that is good there. Also, I have a question for you guys. were you guys ever thinking about maybe starting like a Discord group, you know, for all like the members or whatever and stuff like that, just to have like, I don't know, more of a community thing and have like, you know, all the trades and what everyone says, like have it all like, you know, in the Discord so it like stays in there. I know YouTube's kind of like you can chat in it, but then like after the live, the chat kind of goes away, you know?
It's an interesting question. I mean, obviously, look, our bosses are going to determine something like that, but this is what we absolutely love. Feedback, because ultimately we kind of put this on for you guys, and we didn't even know we were going to do this on YouTube until the popularity picked up. It was an in-house thing at Day Trade the World for educational purposes, and so it's constantly growing and changing. I mean, we just mentioned today we're going to be doing that live Q&A next week. For the first time, and I think it's because of the tremendous amount of questions we get on the channel. We all get tweeted at all the time, so this idea came about, so we're going to give it a go. We're usually open to just about everything, to be honest with you guys, but like I said, we'll have a look at something like that to see if it fits for us. I'm glad you check out our Market Wisdom page. I think, you know, all traders need to make sure that you're consistently learning and continuously learning. Nobody's perfect. I don't care where you're at in your journey. You can always learn something new. You can always get more efficient. You can always improve. That's the name of the game. No one likes to lose money. One of the best ways to make money is to avoid losses and get better.
Go, Nicola. It's Nicola's birthday over here, Neil.
Where's it going?
It's Nicola's birthday, finally. Ripping to the upside goes Nicola right now through 27.50. We did take another long there. Unfortunately, we missed the 27.55. We talked about trying to get that. Obviously, we got out at the very bottom, and those are some of the mistakes that we're talking about, Brendan. But you got to like your trades, and sometimes you got to believe in them a little bit. So we go long again in the 60s. Upside just took some out 79 there on that move. So now we'll wait to see if Nicola does have some juice to it. Now to the upside, keeps going here, but we did drop it a little early. We're going to give this one again as Valeria starts stretching. 27.30 is going to be our out on this move here to the downside if it does happen. But Nicola looking to get some more shares on this long. I still think it could pop, man. The last couple pops have definitely been to the upside, spite this one right there. But a nice little move here, going. Let's hopefully it's gone very, very soon. But with only 5 minutes to go, unfortunately, Brendan, I don't have the fruit salad here today, but it was a lot of pineapple in there. Any opinion on your favorite fruit?
I love pineapple, strawberry, raspberry has been like some of my favorite recently, and also blackberries.
Okay.
Blackberries I feel like are pretty underrated, and yeah, I love those as well.
I love the underrated fruit. I'll give you a chance right now too before we go into some of our end of the day habits that we do. Give a shout out right now, Brendan. Anybody you'd like to say what's up to? This is a great time to do that.
Yeah. I'm going to shout out to my girlfriend that's sitting in the other room that's watching the show. She's sitting in my living room right now watching the show with us. So yeah.
Attaboy.
Shout out to her.
Attaboy, you win.
Smart.
And once again, Brendan wins again. There it is right there. You got to shout out your significant other. And on that note, I love you to my wife, who is most likely watching as well. But I tend to be in her good books more often than not. So that's a win there. Good job, Brendan. Smart at a young age. I like it.
Yeah, it's always about that. That's a great move right there. Hopefully you got yourself a winner. Roku, this is actually very similar to the Tesla trade before we get out of here, because we only have like 4 minutes to go. Roku finally putting in another high here, and I was sort of waiting for it to go sideways a bit. So 188, new top. Might be another rollover here, watching it through like 185 when it breaks down. I'll probably try to take a shot at this one short one more time. It was a good short, but the last third for the home run trade did trail out on me like Tesla, but I can be up on both, and actually I'm at number 1 and 2 stocks, despite the fact that the final third didn't give the home run. So that's the name of this game here, guys. 188 is going to be the out. Still have a GameStop long. That looks like it's going pretty well for me, and I'll have that ONTX penny stock all day long. And as long as it wants to hold below 40 cents, I'm very, very happy with this one. I didn't actually see the 2K pop on my screen or any celebration, so if we haven't gotten there, let's see if we can't get to that one to make Valeria happy. She wore the all black, although I did see a hint of another color in the shoes. Either way, let's see if we can't get there. It's only about 4 minutes left to go, guys. So Roku looking for a short. I haven't taken it yet, but I am going to look for a 185 breakdown on Roku. And 188 to the upside. Man, if that thing breaks, absolutely crazy. The rocket ship. This has been on the watch list, of course. And then Brennan coming with it later on in the show. Speaking of Miss V, let's go to her right now.
Thank you, Neil, and hello, Brendan. Thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you a great rest of the day. Dear viewers, thank you for joining us today. Welcome all the new members and subscribers. And guys, if you didn't like this video yet, please show some love and hit the like button right now. For now, go watch next video where Neil talks about his biggest trading losses. And happy pecan cookie day, everyone.
Oh my goodness.
I love that. I have the macadamia nut as well there on the dark or the white chocolate sometimes with nuts. Great cookie there, Neil.
Any of those will work for me. I mean, you're killing me like right around lunchtime with this, with these cookies and National Day. It's making me hungry. We're probably not getting cookies for our lunch. It's probably chicken or salmon, as it usually is here. But Brandon, just
it's pasta. I looked already.
Is it pasta? Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's not too bad.
I think it's tortellini or something. We can double check.
Brandon, do you like the National Day? You into cookies, or specifically, what do we have? Macadamia, pecan cookie day. You into that one?
Yeah, no, I like cookies. I'm not a huge dessert fan and whatnot, but actually I work at this pretty nice restaurant, and we were making fresh baked chocolate chip cookies with this chocolate filling in them right now, and they're amazing. So I've been eating some of those.
All right, yeah, you're killing us here. Okay, Brendan, yeah, thanks a lot for what you've provided today. The chat definitely likes everything you're talking about, so good job on that one, and good job with the girlfriend. Okay, 27 and change. Nicola falling down. I'm not gonna give this one too much below 27, but I am averaging in and getting more shares right now, just in case this thing wants to continue to blow upside. Tesla as well, making moves. Get ready for battery day tomorrow. If anyone's getting locked and loaded on some of that, I do like it, and I do like Nicola for a bounce tomorrow. So watch out for that stock. Again, no idea where this is going to end today, but I guarantee you we don't see this kind of a number tomorrow on Nicola. So let's wait for that. If you guys are looking for anything long term, play something like that for tomorrow. I think Nicola, GM, Tesla going to be on watch today, but tomorrow. It's been a fantastic day. I'm more long Nicola than I have been at all. So let's see how high this thing wants to fly.
Yeah, absolutely. How high does it want to fly? I do want to get you guys back to one more name before we get out of here, because I just want to point out VXRT here. Bit of a top being made at 915, 925 is the top. This looks like a good rollover spot right here, through 895. Give it to the lower high. I do like this retracement trade. I still have that GameStop on, of course. But we are getting to that time, and I want to give you a thank you there, Brandon, of course, doing a fantastic job, getting a lot of love in the chat, sharing your experiences, talking about your trades. Congratulations for the Neo trades that you had this morning. Thank you for being on the show. You will get one of these little bad boys, our sponsor,
Nice.
Lewis Daniels watch. So check out that, or look for it in the mail. But before we get out of here, I do need to remind absolutely everybody, yeah, I know you want to check out my biggest losing trade, and Valeria's got the link for that. However, we are doing, this is brand new, guys. It's our members only Q&A next week, 12:30 after the show is done. This is the first time for us. We get a lot of questions from you guys. We figured this would be something we'd try out, so we're pretty excited for it. I want to make sure all of our members have the opportunity to jump into this for about 90 minutes or so. We're going to be answering all of your questions. All three of us will be live for that, so do make sure you check it out. Once again, thank you so much for being a guest. I think you've done a fantastic job there, Brandon. But for Valeria, for Sean Katina, for Brandon Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Brandon.
Bye.